This episode of the Grand Rising Show was brought to you by Autochthonous Assembly, where the real work gets done. Autochthonous Assembly is a gathering of the minds that do the work. Now, for many of our first-time subscribers and first-time visitors, you may be wondering who Autochthonous Assembly are. You can find this information about our mission statement and our core values on the website at autochthonousassembly.com/about. We are a nonprofit organization dedicated to raising up Indigenous American voices by using genealogy, also known as family history, or your family tree, which is the study of families and the tracing of their lineages and history. Genealogists use oral interviews, historical records, genetic analysis, and other records to obtain information about a family and to demonstrate kinship and pedigrees of its members. Our core values are the foundation of our company, which is essential to our success and serve as a lens through which we evaluate every business decision. Those core values are, but are not limited to, integrity, which is knowing and doing what is right; respect, which is treating others the way you want to be treated; responsibility, which is embracing opportunities to contribute; and servant leadership, which is serving the common good. Now, at Autochthonous Assembly, we have a couple of goals here. And our first goal and foremost of the reason why we do everything that we do is to ensure that we help you do your genealogy and connect back to your tribe and find out where you are from. Everything that we do from the standpoint of the Grand Rising Show and all the information that's posted on the website is dedicated to that one specific purpose, helping you find your genealogy, find your relatives, find your family so that you will know exactly who you are. And if you choose to, tie back into your tribe, whether that tribe is a Native American tribe, an American Indian tribe, whether it's allowing you to determine which house in Africa that you belong to, or what clan of Scandinavia or Europe or France that you belong to. Either way, our goal is to do just that, help you find out who you are so you know exactly where to start. We are not here to tell you who you are, and we're not here to tell you who you are not. We're just here to help you discover your beginnings. Another one of our missions is to help you become financially independent so that you can help your generations for the next 7 generations and be able to put a stable foundation for you and your relatives. And if you should choose to use this information that we provide free of charge to help not only yourself, but your community and your tribe, then we will do everything in our power to make sure that gets done as well. And remember, our goal here is to make sure that we help you get exposed to this information to put you in the best situation possible. So now what I'm going to do now is return it back over to the panel to see if there was anything I missed, and I will go ahead and get set up so we can get ready and get digging into this information. Panel, take it away.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.
Live. Grand Rising, Grand Rising.
Who live?
All the way live.
Peace. Grand Rising, y'all.
Grand Rising, everyone.
How was everyone's night leading into the rising so far?
Really, really, really good. Long.
Gotta think back.
Yeah. It ended at some point. I know I blinked.
You said you blinked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you talking about blink, the extra long slow-mo blink?
Yeah, I know I blinked, and then there was a realization when I opened them up again.
Like, hold on, it's the rising.
Oh, that was
Hey. You know when you look out of a window and you're not sure if you're woke or still asleep, and you see sunlight.
I get to the window.
Oh, that's the first thing I do. I say, I give my thanks, and then I go to a window to look outside. Sometimes I don't realize I'm not all the way awake until I can't tell what I'm seeing.
Or falling out of said window. Yes, got it. It's like, man, these links is real life.
Man.
I clicked on a link out my sleep.
This window opened. Wait a minute. Oh man. Yeah. I blinked.
I'm gonna finish editing another A2 video last night and got one more to do for all the new updates moving Monday.
Oh shoot.
Monday motivation.
What's
Things
my
just
motivation?
Ain't the same for gangsters.
All in all, been a very, very good productive week.
Good. That's awesome.
Miss Leanne says thank you again for the SBA help.
Shout out to
It
Miss
still didn't help
Leanne.
the fact I had to repeat it 12 more times for different entities. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna get everybody in the same room at one time.
Email attentiondisassembly@gmail.com.
That email works.
Yeah, and that's again for small businesses. You can contact your local SBA dealing with the COVID-19 small business funds. And again, you can contact your local SBA if you have a small business that was affected by the COVID-19 virus. Basically, what takes less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
Hopefully the weather hold up good enough today. Get some more community gardening done.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if Courtney and them don't hijack the show sometime next week.
We could use a feature and special guest, so yeah, it's all right. Might as well.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. You gotta lock the doors so they don't hijack it. You're like, I know we right next door, but I want to watch the show right next to you. Oh, man.
Now you promised me this guest spot. Now as soon as you give me look, now you just give me the time. You know I'm available.
I think the last time I had members of the neighborhood in, they were showing old school boxing techniques, dancing routines from different locations. It's all love, though.
Oh, I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm.
I told you, like everybody in my community, like we all came from the same sense of humor.
Oh, you drank from that cup too. Okay.
And then my street be like, all of them folk crazy. No, we just know how to have fun. We all got a sense of humors.
Got to.
Yeah, you can't go through life mean, mugging face, frowned up all the time.
You know what? You're absolutely correct. I learned that because things are serious enough as it is. If you cannot laugh, I mean, including laughing at yourself, because yeah, you just gotta laugh, have a good time.
When people be asking me, well, how we do it, I'd be like, sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, that's what I look at it as. It's our sense of humor that allows us to work together and get stuff done. Because even if something don't go completely right, we can sit back, find the humor in it, learn from it, and adjust and move forward.
I wonder if it's like a nervous tick for me because it could be the worst situation. I'm gonna crack a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all see that shining light over there? That's a joke. Care how bad it is. It was sad a minute ago.
Yeah, it's what you make of the situations. Yes, a situation can be negative and bad, but because it's negative or bad, you do not have to let it affect you internally, who you are, and how you interact with the world because of said event. You know, you can choose to be like, okay, that happens. You learn from it, brush it off, crack a smile, move.
Yeah, it took me a minute to really understand what that saying. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake if you learned your lesson. And it took me a minute to really understand that, like, no, a mistake is a mistake. You didn't mean to do it. But yeah, what'd you learn?
Yeah, really. Because how's it a mistake if you learned something from it?
Exactly. Don't go over there. Don't do that. Let me tell you my story. This is my story.
Other than that,
Today's the 3rd?
yes, it is.
Man, I'm off on days and dates.
They do that sometimes to you.
What is wrong with me? I know April 1st was 3 days ago.
Oh, you still use Google Calendar?
Oh.
You laughing. I think it was just last week. I lost 2 days and tried to figure out what happened to him.
Man,
Oh man.
what is going on? Yeah.
Especially like doing the update in that process of redesigning the website with the colors and adding new information. Yeah, I lost 2 days.
Man, excuse me. Today's Thursday.
It's Thursday. I'm hollering Tuesday.
No one said anything. I was hollering Wednesday yesterday.
It was only for a second.
Excuse me.
Nope. Nope. Doesn't even work the other way.
No, you did that. Yep, you did it.
Excuse me. Yes, you did. I said it to you. I told you it was Thursday. You said
I
Wednesday.
did say it was Thursday. It was right after. I didn't want to interrupt the next quote, Just a real quick, hey, Thursday.
Look,
Moving right along. It ain't like you cuss.
No, you said.
It's just the date. I say every day Friday.
You probably said
it's to me.
It's Thursday.
Nope.
Yes, you did.
Even if I did say
I
that,
went the whole day thinking it was Wednesday. The whole day. It did not click until 7:38. I was like, wait, what? It's Thursday. No, it's not. It's Wednesday. Yesterday was trash day. No, it wasn't trash day yesterday because trash day is Tuesday. Usually that helps me keep in line. Like, all right, I let the trash, because I run out real quick because I forget all the time until I hear the trucks coming down the street. Like, oh, it's Tuesday.
You're gonna blame me because I ain't want to interrupt your quote so loud. Okay. I want you to interrupt my cussing rants loud and clear. All you did was make a mistake on a date, the day of the week. I've been here cussing folks out and don't even know it.
I forgot them one time I had to run out there with them, and ever since then, they stay out front.
I wish I could do that. I was doing that before, but the city sent out a notice saying that you can't keep trash cans on the curb, which I didn't understand because I was like, nobody hits my trash cans. Like,
they tell us we can't even keep it in the front of the house. You got to keep it on the side of the back. We can't see it from the street.
You know what? I need to find that letter because that may have been what they meant, but
you stupid. Yeah, that probably is what they meant.
Y'all too. On that note, is thank God for rural America.
Honestly, I was looking at properties, right? And I started imagining like, okay, I'm doing the compost heap now. Okay, so if I'm in the rural area, I can this could still be my compost heap. What can I burn? Because, in the country, you can burn trash. So
as long as it's not toxic, yeah, you can burn it.
Right. So then I was thinking, what can I make sure I don't get? That way I can burn my trash. Then after I burn my trash, how can I reuse it? I started, this is looking at property. This is where my mind was going. Like, what do I need to make sure that I don't get now? So I can on trash.
I just read last night about composting. Now, so I'm gonna send you an article I read last night about composting businesses. Go ahead.
No, because I was thinking like, if I'm farming, if I'm growing my produce, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not messing with animals. I'm not about that life. Like, no.
Oh yeah, I'm not. Yeah, if I open a farm, I'm gonna have to be animal free because I ain't got time.
Yeah, I saw some stuff when I was younger. My grandma did some stuff, and I was just like, "Whoa, I'm not that bold. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't."
Oh, you can't. You can't slice and dice.
No, I can deal with the after.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the after is I think most Americans can probably deal with the after if they ever cook themselves a meal. But
after
that pre.
Yeah, no.
Where does it come from?
That's real. That's real. That is real.
This ain't no Avatar movie now. This ain't that easy. Hey, I'm gonna talk to you in your ear before I kill you.
Right. Yeah. Nope.
Thank you for becoming food for my family. No, not every American. Somebody gonna have to do this for some people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. If ever that is a thought that winds up coming into play, which I really hope it doesn't. Somebody else gonna have to,
Either that or you a vegetarian.
For real.
I'll go steal some eggs from a chicken. I ain't gonna kill no chicken.
No, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, and this is just something that happened to me. So I knew some people that they got fresh eggs. I would prefer that those fresh eggs get put in the refrigerator first because it's something with my mind. When you get fresh, warm eggs, it does something to you. Well, it did something to me. Like, nah, I don't want them. Nope, give them back to the hen.
The hotter the eggs are when they fresh, they start to produce.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just like, I changed my mind.
Yeah, you have to refrigerate them immediately.
Right. So it's one of those things, when people, they have chickens and they have hens and whatnot, they have the eggs, or if they don't put them in the refrigerator, even though like they're not under the hen, that they feel different. Like, no.
My grandma and my mom's mom hangs them in a hanging basket over the sink in the kitchen. So I don't know about that refrigeration. I don't know.
Yeah, you want to get the basically, they do anything to air them out so they don't heat up.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay. There you go. And it was a wire basket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to do anything that mimics the incubation, the natural incubation.
Right. And when people bring me eggs, I don't know. It's just did something to me.
I'm like, you can't bring me nothing. I gotta get it. If I can't go get it, I don't want it.
Man. But you know what? I really started thinking, if I'm out in the country, I'm growing stuff, right? if you what I was thinking about is there's going to be a lot of things that I won't use or need, especially if I'm doing things like building my own stuff, putting my own stuff together. What would my trash really look like?
Minimum to none.
Yeah,
It's called zero waste.
Yeah, the vegetables that we grow, we turn that right back into compost and use it as fertilizer.
Yep.
Man, it felt so good last night to cut up cabbage, the core of the cabbage, and throw it in my little compost heap. I was like, yo, wait a minute.
Look, I did the same thing with some red onions the other day to start my compost. I was like, man, this is gonna be amazing. Let me get some of this black gold.
My coffee grinds, throw them in there. I got a bucket.
You know what I'm looking for though? Because it's the grow season now. I'm looking for a local source of compost that's not, or that's actually taken care of, I would say. And I don't know if there's a local source here. I know there's local sources of compost, but it's like, you know, everything under the sun, yard waste, you know, people's kitchen scraps, which, you know, I ain't trusting everybody's kitchen.
Right. See, and then it's too, what I thought about, because I also started pulling up some videos and reading on some stuff. Like, I started thinking about when people cook something, like you cook something, you put seasonings in it, and you would think, oh, that should be good because it's vegetables or whatnot. But learning that even if you're like, if you have leftover green beans, if you put seasoning or oils and stuff in it, that shouldn't go in the compost heap. Didn't know that. No.
Your water can though. If you your vegetable stock. So if you had to boil a vegetable of any kind, the leftover water can be poured onto your compost heap.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Actually, I believe that's a garden as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I will have to pull and submit that to the forum.
Yeah, as long as it's cooled down, you can. Yeah, it can't be hot.
Got you.
It's Friday, man. Leave me alone.
That's right. Hey, how did you grow boiled vegetables?
You know what? Look, I didn't want to say anything because I was like, okay, I don't want to do the Gabby Gibbons, but what does he mean in the garden?
Cool it off.
You boil the garden. Cool it now. You got to cool it now. Boil it down. You got to cool it off.
Yeah, somebody call it in, be like, hey, bro, I listened to you. When I got my potatoes out the ground, it was mashed potatoes already.
What is these? These are supposed to be tubers.
Yo, okay, so the whole raised bed gardens, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try potatoes again in raised beds, but I
got a video for you.
It's 5-gallon bucket. 5-gallon bucket.
Yep.
Heard me, a 5-gallon bucket is more effective for
containers.
No, listen to me. Please listen to me. There was black cocoons. Yes, there were black cocoons. I was growing potatoes in containers. There were black cocoons with some type of weird beetle or bug, which freaked me out because I know that all I had was dirt and potatoes in there. So again, I'm gonna try raised bed. I don't know what type of bug it was, still don't know, but it was very weird because cocoons shouldn't look like seashells. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I threw the whole container out. I didn't care. I was like, nope, it's already, iron already came across 4 of them. I don't even want the potatoes. It's going in the trash. Nope. No. Y'all know how I am about bugs. Just saying.
Oh, that's my shadow.
For real. And I was touching them too. Yeah, no.
Get it out.
He said, what? You say you couldn't get it out?
At the same time you said it, I was about to say that I bust out laughing.
Man, look, you don't understand. And I had my hands in there. I touched. I said, dang, what's a rock? This not a rock. I had it in my hand. So I was like, okay, let me not freak out. Let me keep going. Digging the potatoes, coming up with another shell. Then I came up with a bug. This bug didn't look normal or didn't look like the normal bugs I'm used to seeing. Yeah, no. I'm getting chills thinking about it. No. It was like miniature Jurassic Park in a potato pot. No, 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 no. I saw a caterpillar in my fruit tree. I haven't, matter of fact, in one of the pear trees, didn't even know. I was like, okay, the wind and the hurricane brought random bugs in my backyard. This thing had a red head. It had like furry stuff on its body, but like spike stuff. Like, I don't know.
You know, caterpillars become butterflies, right?
That's great. But before they become butterflies.
No, that's hate. I heard it.
No, because you know they tell you pay attention. Like anytime you see like a caterpillar with red on it, it's something to like certain bugs and stuff like that. Like its colors represent if it could be poisonous or if it could get you.
Yeah.
Like I started thinking if I move this caterpillar somewhere away from my fruit tree, it's gonna spin like a silk cocoon on my finger and I'm gonna lose my finger and then like like it's gonna shoot a poison up my, I don't know.
Yeah, you should definitely remove it.
Why would you be trying to remove the caterpillar again?
Are they pollinators?
Caterpillars are?
No, I mean butterflies.
I ain't moving no bug that's out in the wild. I'm sorry.
Well, technically,
to somebody else's
you
house.
don't understand. Yeah. Okay, so there is a fruit tree right in front of my back door, right? It was on a limb that was close to, like, let's say if I came out the back door real quick with the dogs, I didn't want that caterpillar, like me forget, and then like it's on my face, and then like it bites my cheek, and then
I got the easy solution. See, in my case, Gabrielle, so it would have been
flamethrower.
There was a fruit tree by the back door.
Oh, Mr. George Washington over here.
Listen, I'm nuking everything.
Yeah, he might not even George Washington. He might just use napalm over here to the tree. It's a tree, Bones.
But see, okay, so while
the caterpillar touched my face.
For real, while bugs freak me out, I also feel like if I kill a bug without a valid reason, like, you know, the universe, the creator and the ancestors. Yeah.
Me too.
And so like if I see a shadow, it's like, remember that bug you killed? Because sometimes I'll do something and be like, oh, and I'll be like,
that bug from the basement?
Kill that bug. Yeah.
You gonna get yours, man.
Well, you know that movie Mimic? How they transformed?
What do you mean, like coming back at another life?
No. The movie Mimic is like where roaches turned into
Mimic. Okay.
Yeah. So that's okay. You know, there are childhood movies that freak me out. Like, still, I know I'm grown. I know there's logic behind.
And your train of thought now, I believe that you should just start writing scripts. Stop playing. I mean, I'll help because I'm right beside you with the thoughts. But yeah.
Yeah, like man, I'm just saying. Like when I was younger. It was this one movie where the dolls came alive. I had so many stuffed animals and dolls. Like I used to sleep on the edge of my bed. And if one would fall off, I'd wake up and pick it up and put it on the bed because I did not want them to think I mistreated them.
Wow. See, you know what's funny? I want to know how many adults still have childhood thoughts that are still plaguing them. Like, oh, hey, I used to do this when I was a child. So you know what? I'm an adult now. I don't care. I'm still going to run fast down the stairs.
Like Goosebumps?
It's dark up here.
Goosebumps messed me up. I don't care what nobody says. The TV show and the movies. Yep. If you read Goosebumps books, man, look.
I don't know what they were trying to do.
Sitting on my bed reading my Goosebump books, and I'd stop reading. I'd look around. I'd look on the floor real quick. This is broad daylight. I was doing.
Yep. Look, that was Twilight Zone for children.
Yes.
Like what is happening to me? I'm turning into a leprechaun.
Oh, Original Tiller said there's an app that identify the insects.
Okay.
Yep. I should have told you that. My bad. Sorry. Shout out to Original Tillers. Y'all follow him on YouTube, updating videos on the home garden.
Oh yeah.
The community garden. Stop playing.
Yeah, shout out to Original Tillers. He be having some bomb videos.
He out here leaving folks behind.
This ain't a game. Did you think this was a game? Wait, I got a question. How did he put this in? That's a message in the chat?
In the YouTube chat, yes.
Oh, okay.
YouTube, Twitch, and the website, Verizon.
YouTube,
Oh
Twitch,
shoot.
and the website. Shout out to the chats and the birds outside.
Yeah, grand rising to all the chats this rising for tuning in.
Chat.
So Gabrielle, you were saying yesterday evening, last night, that you had some good community updates for everybody.
Oh yeah. Okay, so thank you. Okay. So when looking at properties, looking at buildings, one of the things I found out is you want to look not only so let's say you see a building that has been there for 40 years and the building has been empty for a couple of years. And you think that building is ideal for your business, your community garden, or whatever the case may be. Check out to find out what the new zoning, if it's a lot of factors. Okay, so check and see if that building is on the tract of land that was submitted by the city to the governor as opportunity zone, on an opportunity zone. In addition to, I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh, my bad. Okay. So check and see if that tract was submitted as that tract of land, that property, if that property is on the tract of land that was submitted as an opportunity zone. In addition to also check for current policy changes. You could find a building that's ideal. However, depending on the city's new policy, let's say if the city says one of their policies is any new business establishing themselves in a building, what's considered an old building, and let's say that one of the requirements is that the wiring is done. You want to check those things out, what the new requirements are for old buildings, because not to say that it may not be worth it, but you may wind up spending most of the funds that you're applying for. If that's what you want to do, go ahead and do it. So check out the building first. So if it's going to be a requirement for rewiring, let's say the wiring was in the building. If it's a building you're choosing, let's say the wiring in the building was done in the 70s, but all buildings now, when they have a new business in it, the wiring, it's required for all the rewiring to be done. Or let's say that it's a requirement that on old buildings that all roofs be replaced. So pay attention to, and again, I'm not saying dismiss like, okay, this building's not worth it. I'm just saying, if you're going to utilize a building that's been standing for a while and it may have been empty and no one's doing anything with it, find out if you feel like it's worth it, find out what it would be to get that building up to code, because that will absolutely be, that's something that needs to be paid attention to. Something I learned with looking at different buildings, finding out that certain buildings that I thought were ideal, not only finding out that they were submitted on the tracts for opportunity zones, also, here's another thing, find out what your city, for the areas, the tracts of land, especially if you're looking at a property that was considered an opportunity zone, find out what your city's regulations or policies or what they've put in when it comes in regards to opportunity zones. So while buildings are like, okay, opportunity zones, we can invest into this property, find out what the city is requiring you to do to invest into that opportunity zone, because it could kind of be weird. It definitely could be kind of weird. So yeah. And then also too, tracts of land, like if you're wanting to do a community garden, or even if you're wanting to do a farm, talk to farmers. If you see lands that are being farmed on, talk to them and find out from them about the land. Again, if you have a farm on the left and a farm on the right, and right in the middle, it's vacant land that nobody's utilizing, talk to those next door farmers and find out what it is, why that property hasn't been utilized, what tests may or may not have been done. I've been finding out and having conversations with people, which I really appreciate, the shared information. I've been finding out information about properties that's not on the county recorder, or it's not on a record. I'm finding it out from the people who are in the areas, like, no, this so-and-so tried to do this, they couldn't do this. When they tested this came up, or whatever the case may be. So talk to the people when you're looking at buildings, you're looking at properties, talk to the surrounding people, because they could, on a lot of times, can tell you more about not only the area, but the property, than you'll find on records sometimes. Just saying. It's a lot of work, but it's still worth it, because I'm learning stuff that some of it has nothing to do with farming and has everything to do with business. I'm learning stuff about business I didn't even know applied to business.
You know it.
And two, also, what I learned is, I've talked to a lot of people. They really don't want us, people who are in business and people who are farming and whatnot. They really don't want to see anyone not succeed. I'm just saying, like, I've had conversations, and with the information that's being shared with me, it's like, dang, this is going to help me. This is helping me to be successful. This information helps me to, be able to do and not to fall, if that makes sense.
Correct.
Oh,
Because at the end of the day, why wouldn't the city and officials wouldn't want to help businesses be successful? The more successful the businesses are, the more successful the area is.
Correct. And again, please pay attention to what's eligible and what's not eligible when it comes to HUD and USDA. Again, areas that are zoned for certain things, it does have a huge impact on what you can and cannot do in certain areas. Whether it's zoned for commercial, zoned for residential, zoned for agriculture, whatever it is, like, just definitely look into that. Because an area that you think, oh, I'm gonna do it right here, this is a perfect building, whatever. Sometimes, and this is something I personally learned, sometimes when you think that something's like, okay, I was eyeing a couple of buildings that are close to me. I had to expand. Basically, it was like broadening my perspective. It was seeing the area bigger than what it was, and realizing, okay, yeah, I thought this was idea, but I may need to go over here. Still same goal, still the same help, still the same community thoughts and I don't know if it'd be motives, but motivations. But it may not be in the same area that I thought was ideal because of whether it's zoning, even down to when you're dealing with agriculture, you're dealing with USDA. So when you're dealing with USDA, there is an absolute difference between city limits and county.
Correct.
So when you're dealing with the city, you have to understand you're dealing with city and county. When you're dealing with city limits, you're kind of dealing with the city, but you're more dealing with the county. And of course, when you're dealing with the county, you're dealing with the county. But again, all those things are an absolute factor, because what may be allowable in county may not be allowable in city. And I don't mean anything reckless. I mean, as far as, for me, I'm more focused on the agriculture aspect of the farming, the community garden, and doing all that. So there are a lot of things that I've learned recently that would not be, if it is done within the city where I wanted to, it would probably take me a year, maybe 2 years to get things going, because I would have to ask for a certain building to be rezoned specifically before that it's just make sure you're doing your research. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're talking to people because while it's still possible, still simply possible, again, you got to pay attention to where you're trying to do it and what's allowable.
Correct. But it's no proof that shows that the programs work. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, thought about this. USDA don't play. If it's something that you know that you're within the guidelines in your county of setting everything up right, and for whatever reason, all you got to do is call USDA. USDA don't play. USDA don't mess around with let's cut some corners, let's do this. No, what's the problem? What's going on down there?
Mm-hmm.
USDA don't play. So that's all I'm saying. Okay, that's not all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you very much. Shout out to you for that information.
Oh yeah, I thank you because like I said, I am learning stuff, and it's crazy because doing the proposal is one thing, you know, putting together the stats and numbers is one thing. It's still a reiteration of you can look at words and numbers and percentages all day long until you literally go out to these areas and ride around looking at these areas and going through, like take the map with you. Look at these areas to really see where you're setting up, really talk with the people to have a understanding. Because again, I learned things about areas and properties that was not on records. And it changed my whole perspective. Like, whoa.
Again, being active,
Mm-hmm.
gathering the information, and not just gathering the information, following through to the next step, applying the information. Because again, what's good of informing yourself and gathering information if you never apply it? It becomes wasted time then.
Absolutely. Yeah, I saw some properties, didn't because it looked so pretty. Drove right by it, didn't even know what it was. I thought, oh, that's just, vacant land. But I saw some property that I thought was ideal, and then found out that the, 20 or more something odd acres that was there, that was a sewer plant. Had no idea. I'm just saying. Then I found another property. You got to go out and see. And it may venture you out further than you had planned initially. And that's okay. Just go out and see. Just saying. I mean, I know a lot of people were probably like, oh, I've been seeing. I personally, I'm looking at a map. I knew certain areas, but I didn't know how far those areas expanded. Just saying. That was for me. And then too, also, again, the areas that you choose, find out what it's eligible for and find out what it's not eligible for.
Yeah, they definitely have eligibility maps available.
But again, my area is definitely probably different from a lot of other people's areas. It's just there's the overlap. So some of the tracts of land that was submitted as opportunity zones, even though it's just land, there's no buildings on it or anything, it's just land submitted as opportunity zones, were also uneligible for USDA. I'm learning. I'm learning. Nope, I couldn't smell the sewage. Shout out to Doodoo Vision. The air smelled clean.
He talking about Houston again.
I couldn't smell it. I'm talking about like it was nice cut grass and everything. I saw mounds, and the first thing that went to my mind, oh, those are mounds. I wonder what that used to be. Those mounds represented the sewer plant. City and county, just saying.
I just posted a link in the back chat that I'm gonna post in the chat. Just came across. Very interesting and helpful.
Alrighty then.
And I just posted a link in the back chat that we don't even have to talk about. Y'all out here posting links. I want to post one. But that was the one I posted yesterday, I believe. I don't know if it's been updated by the author of the
Yeah, we
article.
can do both of them because they both. It's ironic they both go hand in hand.
Word. Gabrielle,
What do you mean?
what dost thou mean? What dost thou mean? I'll read the one I posted. You can read the one Bones posted if you want to. Or would you like me to? I don't care.
Give me a second.
Because we laugh.
All the way live. Okay.
Not like sports.
Okay, so what I'm okay reading.
Mhm.
I'm reading the ones Bone posted. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Microloans. How to get a small business loan when the bank says no. Need a loan for your small business? When the bank says no, a microloan may be the answer for the funding you want. This guide to microlending includes a number of sources for microloans. When you hear the term microloan, you might think of something having to do with size. A microloan must be really small, right? In some cases, yes, but that isn't necessarily true. If you want to know more about microlending, we have all of the information you need right here. What is microlending? Microloans are small loans that are often used by businesses who can't get a traditional business loan from a bank. Mohammed Yunus, a Bangladeshi economist and winner of the 2006 Nobel Peace Prize for his work, is considered the first person to put microlending as we know it today into practice, lending money to women and men who couldn't get loans from banks. He started Grameen Bank, which lent largely to Bangladeshi women to buy cows, seeds, retail goods, and just about anything else to start a business. Today, that idea has grown to massive proportions. Sites like Kiva still largely follow Yunus' original idea, but microloans are now available to nearly any entrepreneur in just about any size. Because sources of microloans. Because microlending has proved successful, there are now numerous sources of funding. Small Business Administration. The United States Small Business Administration. Sorry, an ad popped up. The United States Small Business Administration.
I was about to say, you just sound like you making an excuse for clicking the link. I heard that. So yeah, advertisement, pop-ups, You seen Wreck-It Ralph? It's crazy out here.
I have seen Wreck-It Ralph 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The second one when they went to the internet, yo. So I hear just clicking links. Patty LaBelle or somebody. Okay, go. My bad, go ahead.
The United States. What? Oh, okay, my bad. Okay. The United States Small Business Administration, SBA, has a microloan program that provides loans of up to $50,000 to small businesses for startup and expansion. The average loan amount is $13,000. The funds are provided through local community-based intermediary organizations. The businesses and startups that wish to apply for microloans need to do so through their local intermediary organization. Names of those intermediaries can be obtained from your local SBA district office. Hot link, just saying. Had to talk to myself real quick. Okay, On Deck. On Deck Capital provides short-term working capital loans for small businesses. The loans are true term loans, not merchant account advances or any other type of cash advance. On Deck uses different criteria to determine eligibility for a loan that most banks do, making it possible for some small businesses to qualify when they wouldn't through more traditional sources. Businesses or business owners can apply for their loans online, over the phone, and get funded in as little as one business day. On Deck requires businesses to be open at least 1 year with revenues of at least $100,000 to apply. Kabbage. Kabbage is yet another source of money for small businesses, offering a line of credit that can be used to purchase inventory, fund payroll, and for other small business needs. What makes Kabbage unique is that it uses real-time data to make an instant lending decision about a business. Instead of putting all the weight on the credit score, it may look at your QuickBooks online data, PayPal, or eBay accounts. Later, it may up your credit limit by examining your Facebook or Twitter accounts. All lending decisions are made automatically through its computer's algorithm. Oh, that's interesting.
That's that sweat equity.
Yeah.
You know, from 200 something. Let me hush.
Lending Club. If you have a credit score of at least 660, you may be able to borrow up to $35,000. Lending Club is a peer lending site where you borrow directly from other members. You avoid the hassles and expense of going through traditional lenders, while investors can see returns of 9% or more. What? Shout out to Bones. Thank you for this. Prosper. Prosper and Lending Club are similar organizations. Prosper makes peer loans of up to $25,000 and requires the borrower to have a credit score of at least 640. Investors can fund as much of the loan as they would like until the total amount is raised. The borrower then makes monthly payments. Crowdfunding sites. Crowdfunding and microloan.
Crowdfunding.
Oh, crowdfunding, my bad. Crowdfunding sites. Crowdfunding and microloan programs are similar in their mission to loan to those who don't qualify or don't want to get a bank loan, but different in how they help you reach that goal. A microloan is a monetary loan that has to be paid back in cash. It may come from multiple sources, but at its core, it's a loan where interest has to be paid. Although the differences are becoming increasingly blurred, crowdfunding is more often a type of grant where the person doesn't repay the funds. Kickstarter. Hold on. Give me just a second. I need to bookmark this real quick. My bad.
You're admitting everything today. So I know I have a problem with hot links. But it's Friday. Say it out loud.
Say it loud. It's Friday. Kickstarter. Man, Kickstarter isn't going to fund your business, but if you have a creative project this is the place to go. Your project has to be 100% funded by a certain date in order to receive funding, and you retain complete ownership of the work. In return, the creator will often offer a product or service in return for the funding. If a band is asking for money to produce an album, the donors might get an autographed CD, for example. Indiegogo is similar to Kickstarter, but it has an option to receive funds even if the announced funding goal isn't reached. For information on these two types of crowdfunding, read this article, How to Raise Money with Crowdfunding. Crowdfunder. Crowdfunder participates in a new kind of crowdfunding called equity crowdfunding. Equity crowdfunding blurs the lines between microloans and crowdfunding, but there are still differences. Equity crowdfunding allows any number of investors to fund your business needs. As laws change, Hotlink, this model is evolving into both debt-based financing like a microloan or equity-based where the investors take a stake in your company. Crowdfunding calls this crowdfunding 2.0. How do I qualify for a microloan? Microloans may use technology to add a modern twist, but all loans have the same basic rules. You have to demonstrate a track record of responsible financial behavior in your business and professional life. If you have other loans, pay them on time. Take steps to elevate your personal credit score and provide plenty of evidence that your business is growing. Finally, explore the various options to find the one that best fits your needs. Note, this article contains one or more affiliate links. BusinessKnowHow.com may make a commission if you click through and apply for a loan. 2016, Atard Communications Incorporated, DBA Business Know-How, may not be reproduced, reprinted, or redistributed without written permission. Time Parker. Okay.
So, what's the thoughts of the panel on this one?
What is it? It's time to. Okay, so give your brother his book, please, sir. Dominic. Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's okay. Thoughts. You can't unhear it. I definitely can't unread that. I now know.
Some more info showing that, again, to get projects done, to get things moving, we do not have to take money from our community to rebuild the community.
For real. And I mean, yet again, here are other examples of sweat equity. Here are other examples that, even down to the one where it talks about where it's a pool, it's other people who are members of it, you're receiving the funds from them. So if you have an actual business and you actually have a goal, you can actually get funding. Okay. We live?
That's why I said again before. Time I came into the information on what you can do, it clicked into me. Hold up, sponsor a nonprofit to access these programs for members of the community that can't access them as individuals.
Right.
I mean, again, you can help your community without taking from your community, without putting your community in risk, with actually building with them. So as the community grow, you as an individual grow. And again, it's just more proof. And this is just a couple of programs that's on thousands or more that you can access to build your business, to rebuild your community, to build institutions to educate our children, to build housing authorities to house people that don't have housing, to make sure we take care of our elders. Again, there's programs on top of programs on top of programs that can be accessed to accomplish these goals. And you do not have to fill out paperwork, /dash this, that, stamp this, stamp that to accomplish this. You don't have to make yourself an immigrant to get this done. All it takes is you doing what the majority of us have never done. Being an actual physical part of our communities, actually being involved in the day-to-day functions of our communities, knowing the political structure of our neighborhoods, being a part in the election process of the local leaders. Because again, if someone locally does not have the best interests of your community in mind, then as a community, you can mobilize and vote the person in that does.
Absolutely.
But again, if you do not apply yourself, if you do not participate, then things remain the same. Grabbing this second link.
I'm back. Barely.
What's your thoughts on the micro loans? No sellout. While I'm grabbing this link.
Man, you know what? That's one thing I didn't think about, because I definitely, in the past have gone to banks and places for loans, and I have been to the SBA, but I didn't think about micro loans. So I think for anybody who didn't know about it, I mean, try your hand at it. I mean, it's there. It's there for you. You might qualify for it. I'm just saying. Just like Gabrielle, I'm taking my notes. Saving links, clicking it twice. Wouldn't find out. These micro loans are nice. Where's Gabrielle at? She's supposed to finish The Little Mermaid song. But no, yeah, micro loans. So shout out to the micro loans. That ain't so micro in some people's eyes. Up to 50 ain't micro. 13 ain't even micro.
You know what I just thought about? Obviously not. Yeah.
It's invisible. So you say it.
You know what? Look.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is a year from now, you can't talk about business for me. So a year from now, if I'm still talking, I need y'all to beat me up.
I like when people say that. I ain't gonna hold you to it now. I ain't gonna beat you up. I'm a man, you're a woman. And I know you.
Okay, so if we dismiss all that, I'm just saying, I need you to beat me up. I'm just saying.
Mentally, I beat you up mentally. Like, what's wrong with you? All that talking and clicking and linking and
how, bam, boom. I'm just saying that there is no excuse, and I appreciate knowing, because it's one of those things. Bones has said it before. Sometimes people just need to know and see that they have an opportunity, that there is a way. And it's one of those things that this, even today's link, regardless of how many USDA programs and fundings I've gone over with you guys and read and looked into, and HUD and all that, there's still programs, there's still funding out there. And it's not all crazy. It's not like, okay, I cut off my finger, here you go in exchange for this. No. And a lot, even seeing today, there is so much out there that deals with sweat equity. So I can work hard. I have no problem with cutting up some wood, getting my circular saw this weekend, cutting up some wood, or doing the labor because that actually, so hard work pays off. What?
Use your bootstraps.
And yes, these are different from grants. Yes, microloans for businesses and microloans for individuals for home buyers is different from grants.
Right.
It just answering a question from the chat.
You.
Little Vision says SBA does not stand for Sub-Saharan Black Africans.
Not in this conversation, it don't. One would have think it would make you believe that, but no.
That's crazy. Like, look.
That's why a lot of our people speak out against it who really don't know nothing about it.
You know what? Let's say that they do know something, or let's say that they don't. Okay.
I like the don't factor. I feel like they don't.
Yeah. Let's say that they don't. Can't unhear it now. You know now.
Come on now. Try to uncrack a smile.
Is we live?
You just mad. we live three different platforms. Come on now. We got three chats.
Saying, you can't unhear what you hear. Again, we are responsible. Okay. Oh man, it was a story that I was told when I was younger. I guess the story came from the Bible where it talks about one son was given 5 talents, the other son was given 3 talents, and another son was given 1 talent. And pretty much one son buried the talents. The other son, I think, squandered it away, like gambled it away. And the one son that took 1 talent and multiplied those talents and, became successful. This is what I equate it to. And I mean, it could be in the Quran, just told a little different. I'm not sure. But that story has always stuck with me. Always take 1 talent and multiply them. Be talented in many different things and be successful. You're responsible for what you do with the information you obtain. Just saying.
Peace to the chat. Peace to the panel. Peace to the silent majority.
Absolutely. Peace to the chat. Peace to the silent majority.
I mean, again, what can be said when there's thousands and thousands of hours of proof? When you have individuals that look no different than the individuals on the panel right now who have built communities.
You know what I just thought about? I'm pretty sure that the businesses that established these programs, I'm pretty sure that they tapped into the funds and grants to create these programs to benefit other people.
Exactly. And all we're saying is, instead of sitting back, twiddling your thumbs, complaining, what happens when we build the companies, when we provide the services to our own community, when we make sure in these constitutions and bylaws that it's designed to always support and represent the community. If we design it that way, you trying to tell me that can't stand? How you have companies that's over 200 years old?
About to say
the same thing, the same principle.
Wait. So how do you twiddle your thumbs and how do you learn how to stand? How do you learn that skill?
I mean, do something.
Yeah.
And then, like I said again, it's a big disservice when people tell communities, don't be a part of it, or that makes you part of the government and this and that, but can't give you 5 seconds of actual information on these programs, how they're designed, how they help, even how they work.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying that they're telling you not to do it, but they themselves don't know anything about it?
They can't even tell you what it does. That's just like how people are telling you don't do the census because they get information and they know who you are. But these people who's telling you that, they didn't even open up and read the census information to know that the census shares no information with no government entity.
Zero of them. To the point that they actually mention it almost in every
it's on every page, on every question that they do. They don't share no personal information. There's no personal information to share.
I got a question. So people who are telling people not to do the census because they get your information, blah, 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 blah. Right? When they got the phone that they used to say the stuff on, did they read the policies and all that came on the phone that they have you read through before you activate your phone?
Well, you already know they didn't, because if they was reading, they would know that the census don't give out personal information.
Do you know when you
if they was reading, they would realize they just gave out personal information trying to get a cell phone.
Do you know that when you activate a phone and you set up, everything on your phone, they tell you who they share your information with? That's what cookies are about.
Just being online, you sharing cookies and information on who you are. I mean, personal information.
Yes,
and you get nothing in return for it. At least the census, by participating, you getting $12,000 a household.
Hold up.
You giving away your information for free and telling people not to collect that $12,000 a household. Come on, man.
Volunteering their information
for the free.
For the free.
Do you know?
No. My bad. They're not doing it for free. They're paying someone to get information because you're paying the bill for that service every month, for that phone, for that internet.
Do you know when I set up my computer that there was what's it called? Privacy? What is it called? Policy and
the privacy and policy page.
Right. So sitting at the computer with the internet and upgrading, the web browser and all that, they have you read through it. I'm doing the census because the census said to me on the U.S. Census Bureau, the census information said to me not only to fill out the census because it's required by law, but they do not share any information with the FBI, the CIA, or any local law enforcement or any government agency. And they said that the reason why they don't do it, and I can't remember the code, but it was a US code that it falls under, that they don't share that information. And the reason why they don't share that information. In addition to, here's my thoughts, and it could just be me, and if I'm wrong, just tell me. If they're able to account for people who are considered immigrants, that are considered undocumented, that means they don't have citizenship or anything. Or however they're here, they're here. But if they're filling out the census and they don't go to jail or get hemmed up or followed or anything behind it, why am I not going to fill out the census? That don't make sense to me. I'm going to fill out the census. Matter of fact, I did fill out the census. I ain't had a knock on my door yet. And I ain't did nothing wrong. I'm just saying.
I'm still waiting on the alternative answer.
Oh, no, yeah.
What's the alternative for the $12,000 per household for participation? What are you going to offer the households for pulling away? What support system do you have for the people in place? We say it's for the people. You say it's about the community. So what do you have in place for the communities?
And not just that, and it stuck with me, hearing that automated message go out saying that because of how many people did not fill out the census in 2000 and 2010, specifically focusing on 2010, over $400 million was lost to the city because of communities.
Hey, I want you to say that again. And then I want you to say what. Was that the country or a city?
No,
but I just need you to say it. No, just say it. Just say it. From the top.
Okay.
And the amount of money too. I definitely want to hear that again.
Okay, just for this city alone.
Oh.
Just for this city, not the county. not the county.
Country?
Nope. Not the surrounding counties, not
'Cause
the
I thought you
states.
said like a number that was kind of high, but go ahead.
Yeah, just this city, not including the county, just the city, because of communities, not a couple of people on one block and a couple of people on the next block, because of communities not filling out the census, lost over $400 million in funding and grants for the city for 2010.
Oh man. Okay. All right. I thought I heard you say all of that, but for some reason, $400 million for a city. I mean, that's a lot.
That's not including the county. That is just for the city.
And Gabrielle, what was the city's solution to losing that amount of money? Because they recouped it, and how did they recoup it?
The base.
Another business
businesses.
came in,
Yep.
paying 68% of the city's taxes. So
Not-
now, did I
yep.
say so?
Yeah, it was not just the base, but there are the top 12. Okay, so there's a top 10 and a top 12. So I'll go off the top 10. The top 10 businesses, including the base, contribute over 68% of the city's taxes. So these businesses that they set up their business, and I'm not knocking these businesses, but not only did they set up the businesses, they also provide the most of over also the same close to the same number percentage of employment and also housing.
Mm-hmm. So again, if the residents of the cities and communities don't do it, then it puts the city in a strain to where they're not bringing in X amount to keep certain things running.
Exactly.
So then they have to get the revenue from somewhere.
Exactly.
So again, you can see the effects of not participating.
Yeah. Like I was telling you earlier, you can ride around here and see, oh, okay. I mean, there are, you know what? Yeah. People saying don't participate in the census, don't participate in voting, don't participate. If you go off of the stats for 2000 and 2010, and what 2020 won't show until was it January of 2021, because they've got to get all that stuff in. But still, like, based off of what wasn't done, participated in, filled out, and done in 2000, then it continued in 2010, which is 10 years later. 10 years later, you had an even greater number of people who did not participate, didn't fill out, didn't get involved. You have a greater number. Now here it is, we're 2020. You can't unhear this. You can't unknow this. Anyone saying don't participate, don't be a part of, that's a problem. They're a problem. Period. Because that is why we have a lot of the things that we have going on. That is why we have a lot of communities and a lot of neighborhoods that don't get the attention it needs. Because if you don't participate, if you don't participate in the ACS census, in the decennial census, in your city council meetings, knowing what's going on in your city, in your county, you don't participate, even if it's in a small way. Even in a small way, if you don't participate, your voice doesn't get heard. Your voice may get heard on a piece of paper, and that's fine. It's still being heard. It's still being recognized. It's still being counted. So when you don't participate and you're looking around like, man, they don't fix these roads. Well, what are you and your community going to do about it? Y'all don't want to participate. So ain't nothing going to get done. Nothing. There's not going to be any funding. The city and the counties, they submit for funding based off of the people that participate to resolve, to meet the needs of the people that participate. The city and the counties cannot ask for funding if people aren't participating to show the numbers that need those resources and those needs met. Period. we affect our city, we affect our county. If we don't participate, the city can't say, or the county can't say, hey, we need this. The state, if people aren't participating in their cities and counties, the state, it trickles all the way up. You know that saying, poop rolls downhill? Well, look, if the cities don't participate, people in the cities don't participate, people in the counties don't participate, that means they're not participating in the state. And then who's asking for what funding for who? The city can't ask for funding, the county can't ask for funding, and now the state can't ask for funding.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me thinking. I could be absolutely wrong. And if I'm wrong, show me.
This. The cities, the counties, and the states, they're not going to completely lose out. They will move in entities that will
Come on now.
Correct.
pay the bills. That's why you see these towns that get taken over by corporations.
Mm-hmm.
See, a lot of this stuff happens because of lack of participation. Because people choose to remain distracted or misinformed. When again, all of this information we're speaking on is public info. It's not hitting behind no paywall, no special membership. You don't need to pay for no classes to get and notified. It's public info.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, Bones. You know what it cost me to pull these stats and pull this information just on this area? You know what it cost me?
Just a little time.
Mm-hmm. Like I had to exercise my index finger. I had to stretch my index finger out.
From one key to the
on
next.
My mouse.
Click, click.
That's it. That's it. That's it.
We got the next link whenever y'all ready. It's already in the chat.
Not it.
Oh, that's messed up. If it was y'all, I would have helped y'all. Red. Yeah.
I'm done.
All right. Peace to the chat. Mic check. Mic check.
What to? Bad.
All right. This one is from CNN.com. What small businesses need to know about the government's new forgivable loan program? And this was updated at 5:23 p.m. Wednesday, April 1st. So, what was that? 2 days ago?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, I think, has promised that by this Friday, small business owners can apply for a new forgivable loan to help keep their businesses afloat during the coronavirus crisis. Nearly $350 billion has been allocated for that purpose in the new economic aid package signed into law last week. Gabrielle, there's a hot link there. Unless further technical guidance is issued soon, it might be tough for many lenders to launch on Friday, according to Chris Hearn, CEO of Fountainhead, a non-bank direct small business administration lender. Otherwise, he thinks lenders should be ready to go by next week. Did I skip something? No, I didn't. Many have already done what they can do to prepare for an expected surge in demand. Hearn estimates his company alone is likely to process loan applications for more than $1 billion right off the bat. Here's what small business owners need to know. And again, this is what small businesses need to know about the government's new forgivable loan program. Gabrielle, do you want to ask the questions or you pots and pans?
How you gonna tell me about a hot link and don't? Okay.
Oh, you over there? See, no, you supposed to be paying attention. I'll be paying attention to you when you read hot link. You're supposed to save the hot links for tomorrow.
Okay.
For tonight.
Okay. I'm focused.
Oh, no.
Focused, man.
I do want to click some hot links though. Go ahead.
You know what? You know, hot links make me nervous when I don't click them.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know why
it's almost like, because you could be missing something. You never know.
Yeah.
All these ages of not reading. You know, you might want to read something nowadays. I don't know. You might miss something. That's why I stopped watching and started reading.
Yeah, you know, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Yeah, you shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
I'm not going. Nope, not going there. It's early. It's 9:44. It ain't even double digits yet. I'm about to ask myself this question. You
I got a question.
But not
Oh,
him.
what? See,
Okay.
I only think of Bones in the background while somebody's on camera that he don't want on camera. Remember, ain't nobody got time for that. He wants his mama off the camera.
He backed
He
into
just
the
walking back and forth like, one of them go on mute. Just one. Don't need no help. Back up. Go, you got it. It's Friday. It's early. Grand Rising, everybody. Peace to the chat. Gabrielle got some questions.
It's
for all of us.
Friday.
She's asking
and ready
questions on
to
behalf of the people.
Who is eligible to apply?
Generally, any small business with 500 or fewer employees is eligible. That includes sole proprietorships and independent contractors. It also includes nonprofits, veterans organizations, and tribal businesses. In certain circumstances, Hotlink, businesses with more than 500 employees also may qualify. Applications will be accepted up to June 30th, but the program is on a first-come, first-served basis. So I'm just gonna click. I'm sorry.
And there's not a line for that.
No, first-come, first-served is no line. It's like you get there, you there, or you good. Don't get there late though. Don't get there late. Yeah, there might be a line for letting you know that you're too late. You know, you might have to stand in line to find that out. But yeah, I clicked the link. I'm sorry.
Okay, my bad. I did too.
Yeah, which one did you click?
The stipulations or the requirements.
No, I'm kidding. The certain circumstances.
Yeah, certain circumstances.
That looks a little hefty. I don't have 500 employees, so I'm going to leave that to the people with more than 500 employees.
It looks like the basic stuff you would need to have if you're applying for a regular loan. Yeah. So basic stuff you would apply, you would have for a regular loan if you're a business.
All right.
Got another question.
Yeah. What might it be?
What is? Oh nope, I was reading that wrong.
What is money?
Yes.
What is money? Well, Gabrielle, there's a thing called fiat. No, I don't know.
Shots fired. Pew, 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 pew.
Question for Copper India. What is money?
No, I hear Division. Come on, son. You knew what you were asking.
Sure did.
You knew what you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got a question.
Message. Oh man.
Okay. Stop laughing. Stop.
I can't help it. Go ahead.
I hear your thoughts.
Yep. And I heard what you just said. So. Nope. I can answer that question whenever you like. Not this Friday. Not at all. I can't even say it now.
I can't help it. It's your fault, double cousin. That boy hit bad. Okay, I got a question. I got a question.
You know too much. You know too much. You know too much. Oh man, yes. What's the...
1,000 Fridays from now.
Nope. Not even gonna. I'm not gonna try it. We gonna get through this, y'all. We're gonna get through this.
Yeah.
Together.
Back of my head hurting. I'm laughing so hard. Oh,
One day, everybody will be able to laugh at everything that we are. I was about to say swear jar word. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Shout out to Carrie Bay.
Shout out to Carrie. Carrie Bay. Okay. This racism is killing me. Okay, I got a question for real.
What is it?
Okay. What is the money for?
That is my money.
It is my business.
The goal of the loan program is to help small businesses continue to pay their employees and their overhead costs in order to stay afloat for the next couple of months. So long as you use the borrowed funds to make payroll and to pay expenses such as utilities and your rent or mortgage, you won't have to repay the loan and you will not owe income tax on the forgiven amount. In order for your loan to be fully forgiven, you must maintain your head count and not reduce employees' pay.
What?
Yeah, I'm just gonna close this one out. I don't even want to read this anymore. What you saying? You saying what now?
What?
Which one should I read again? The whole thing?
I think you should
All
read
of it.
What is the money?
What is the money for?
Yeah.
That part? Okay, what is the money for? The
What
goal.
is the money for?
So the goal of the loan program is to help small businesses continue to pay their employees and their overhead costs in order to stay afloat for the next couple of months. So long as you use the borrowed funds to make payroll and to pay expenses such as utilities and your rent or mortgage, you won't have to repay the loan and you will not owe income tax on the forgiven amount. In order for your loan to be fully forgiven, you must maintain your head count and not reduce employees' pay.
Can we have a small moment of silence for this?
Time out. Real talk, real quick. All the grown-ups, real quick. This the stuff people try to tell you not to participate in? What?
Can we have a small moment of silence for this small money break? I'm just saying.
Hold on, man. You get the loan, and as long as you use said loan to pay the things that the loan's supposed to be used for, you don't repay the loan.
What is this? What you say, double cousin? You get the money and tumble it. I get the money and flipping it.
You get I ain't even gonna quote it. Nope. Not even gonna do it. This is an educational platform. There are youth farmers out there listening to us right now.
My goodness. You get the business and double it. I get the business and flip it.
Oh man.
Okay.
So what that money is used for is to operate.
What do you do when your business is flat? Oompa doompa doo.
You're gonna get a copyright.
Oh,
No,
my bad.
no,
Okay,
I'm joking.
okay,
I'm
okay.
joking.
My bad,
I'm
my
not
bad, my
about copyright. I'm
My
waiting
bad.
on licensure still.
Man.
So
Okay, I got another question. I got another question. But I had to let my employees go already. Does that mean I can't get a loan?
You still can, so long as you can show you had employees as of February 15th, 2020.
Mm.
Once approved for a loan, you can use the money to rehire your staff.
Whoa.
The loan forgiveness provisions will apply so long as employees are rehired by June the 30th, according to Senior Treasury and Small Business Administration officials.
Bring them back. Bring them back.
Stop the practice. Stop this. Hold on.
Might
Wait a
be able to hire another
It's hard to
staff,
deny
but they
when you
don't
got
wanna
something
come
on your back.
Let me get rid of this right quick. Let me hire my staff back. Y'all want to come back? Nope. Okay, let me hire a new staff.
Hire your staff back with it, and you don't pay it back.
Bring the staff back.
Hold up. You know what?
Bring the staff
Y'all
back.
go ahead. Keep the party going. Keep the Christmas party going. We ain't gonna stop the streak. That office party.
But
so
don't
yeah, so you
participate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Don't participate.
Don't do that.
Okay.
That's 5 10
Okay.
minutes of your time.
You know what?
Like, that's not fair. I got 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, I guess I'll go over here with dangerous folks.
That's not fair. These businesses, man, you know what? Look, okay. Not participate in what?
Tracy Morgan at the end of head of state. With what?
Hold on.
Of what? Of what? Participate with what?
You stay over there, and I'm gonna keep rocking what I'm doing.
Trying to sell these steaks. You want to buy one of these steaks or not?
Hold on. So far, let me just make sure I understand this correctly. Let me make sure I understood what Double Cousin read and I read along with. Okay. Let me just so far, not only can I apply for a small business loan to sustain my company that has 500 or less employees, because less than 500, even if it's a small business that has 10 employees, it's less than 500. Just saying.
Can just be you, a sole proprietor.
Right, exactly. So if I'm to understand this so far so far I can apply for a loan, a small business loan, okay? And when I apply for this small business loan is to sustain the needs, payroll, expenses, utilities, rent, mortgage, because some sole proprietors and small businesses are out of people's homes, and you need to sustain the home, not just the building, but the home to maintain your production, whatever it is that your business is. So the funding goes to the expenses, payroll, whatever. And then on top of that, you tell me that I don't have to pay taxes on it, and the amount that I get a loan for is going to be forgiven. So I won't have to stress after applying for this on what I applied for to make sure that my business sustains and stays, above water. Then also too, if I had to let my staff go, I can bring them back so that my business can maintain and keep going. Am I right in understanding that, or did I miss something? Did I forget something? I'm just curious.
I keep checking the page to see if the words change, but they say it. That's what they say.
The more I scroll back up, the things stay the same.
Still there. Like I see you.
Well, I got another question.
Oh, I'm ready.
What do I need when I apply?
Lenders will ask you to fill out a 2-page application, which can be found here. Hotly. Already downloaded on 2 devices. You must show lenders proof that your company was in operation on February 15, 2020, and that you had employees for whom you paid salaries and payroll taxes. In addition, you'll need to show proof of your average monthly payroll cost in 2019 or for the first 2 months of this year if your business is new. Independent contractors and the self-employed, who must wait until April 10th to apply, need to show proof of, quote, payroll and other certain expenses, unquote, according to Treasury. Mic check.
1 2 1 2.
Grand rising to all that's just tuning in this rising.
Grand rising to you.
Hope all is well.
Did that answer your question, Gabrielle, about what you need when you apply?
Yeah, my bad. I clicked on the link. I'm about to print the application out. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
That came out of nowhere. I'm sorry.
My bad. My bad.
Caught me off guard. Caught me off guard.
Adobe Acrobat Reader is pulling up right now, so I can.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and it's very interesting because, again, with all these conversations that I've been having, they've asked. There are people who actually own businesses, have small businesses, and have been asking me questions. So, guess what I'm about to do? I'm about to print this out, make copies, and hand them to me when the show is over. I'm going to hand this to them, and I'm going to, hey, this is what it is. This is you're good. The employees that you had to let go, you're good. Huh?
Making copies. You breaking up, Bones?
That's being active in the community. No, I was saying that's being physically active in your community. You're taking the information to the business people that probably be so tied up with things going on. Normally, they wouldn't even know about it.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm thinking about it because they are sharing again, I cannot, it's not even stressing. I cannot say how much information I appreciate these business owners and these farmers they have been sharing with me, and also listening to how they're talking about with everything going on, how they have actually had to let employees go, or they've had to minimize what they produce. And so they're not able to service the customers that they were servicing before. So yeah, I'm making copies of this. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. And I'm see if you can, fill out this application, scan it, and email it. Because definitely, if that is an option, I'm gonna let them know. Just fill this out, scan, and email. There you go.
And that's how simple it is to pass information along in your community.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, the more we are informed as a community, the better we are when it comes to making these choices on the future of our communities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wouldn't you want to have as much information as possible so when you make a decision, you're making the best informed decision you possibly can?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I completely agree. I mean, you know what? With everything going on, there's still help.
That's why I said it before. With everything that's going on, this is realistically a good time to take advantage of the time and start getting your affairs in order. You know what I'm saying? If you're interested in doing businesses, you're interested in starting nonprofits, with everything else physically slowing down and stopping, the majority of this stuff, I want to say like 99% of it, is done online anyway.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to start your business, you don't never have to go see nobody physically ever not to get it started and registered. You can do that within 20 minutes from your device.
These devices, and where they click, I follow.
Yeah, the grant funding and everything is still moving. So with the slowing down of things, it actually gives you a chance to get things in order, to get things established. Because a lot of your time isn't consumed up in the rat race right now, with the everyday running around trying to keep up with the Joneses, got to get this, got to get that. Sometimes you got to take certain situations and you flip it and use it for your advantage. And again, as communities, if we use this time to actually get our affairs together, to use it to start doing things to make us more self-sufficient, as simply as gardens, indoor or outdoor. As simple as coming back with community businesses. So times like these, in low cities,
Breaking up, Bones.
basic life doesn't stop. Oh, hold on, I'm finna switch over.
Mic check 1 2.
Can y'all hear me? 1 2 1
Yep,
2.
I can hear both of y'all. Why y'all both like checking at the same time?
I am McLovin. Chicka chicka yeah.
No, I was just saying, like, times like these, on what's going on right now, is that you can use this time to start putting things together to become more self-sufficient. As simple as having home gardens, as simple as setting up community businesses so certain things are produced. So locally in communities, basic way of living keeps moving regardless of what goes on. You know, if what's going on should show us anything, it should show us the need ever more on why we need to go back to producing for ourselves, why we need to take responsibility of our community, why we have to use our voice to make sure we have fair and equal representation. Because again, if we're not being active on a local level, being active in voting in our mayors, congressmen, senators of our areas, remember, these are the representatives that go to the federal level to represent who? You. And these same individuals are the same ones that sit down at the table and design acts that eventually become laws. Wouldn't you stand a better chance of affecting change in the nation if we just simply applied ourselves? If we simply start having communications with our elected officials, and if they do not have plans for our community and our best interests, then we start getting candidates from among us that do. And if it means that we start educating the younger generation to take these future seats, then that's what we do. But again, we can't sit back complaining, telling communities don't do this, we rebels and all this and all that, and don't have an alternative. Because in real life, that affects real families. What's the solution for the single mothers that can benefit by participating? What's your alternative if they don't? What's your alternative for our elders if they don't participate? What structures, institutions, residential housing do you have in place? Because through these programs, by us choosing to activate, we can design and build all of it. People will sit on platforms and tell you 501c3s, they no good, they belong to the federal government, you get controlled and this and that. I'm finna ask no sellout again. And Gabrielle. Because see, we are a non-profit organization, a 501c3. So anybody knocked on your door and told you what we can and can't talk about or discuss when we doing this show?
I'm gonna check the door right now because I ain't hear no knocking a long while.
Yeah, Gabrielle, we ever got a call from any federal organization telling us, oh, we can't talk about this program, we can't help the community, or we got to stop? Anybody?
No, but
I'm trying to figure out what that memory erasinator thing is made out of with Men in Black. So, I'll let y'all know when they show up. Try to erase my memory or something.
But can I add something real quick?
Sure do. Please do.
No, ain't nobody tell me what I can't say, but I do know, me being part of the community and actively involved and voicing and sharing information, standing in front of a judge, I wasn't put under the jail. I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah, they could have hid you. Like, no, she making too much noise out there.
I want to say that the things that I talk about, it's actually opened up more doors and more opportunities and more help, and having more people actually support me, share with me, and show me things that, okay, so no, my answer is no. No, I haven't been told. Don't be, no. No.
You know how when you make a turn on the street and you're like, man, I shouldn't have went this way because I got to go all the way down this way just to make this U-turn. You just gave up in the middle of it. So I'm gonna hop the median.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
No. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. I actually, listen, no lie. I had a conversation with a police officer that shared information with me that expanded on the things that I've learned. And you know what? No. Again, no. No. I mean, this police officer was in full uniform. I wasn't scared. No, I was having a really look. Okay, so my bones. My answer is no. Ain't nobody telling me not to say nothing, not to talk about something, not to do this.
I might ask for a business card if they do.
Even dealing with the police department, you got a problem with the sheriff. Don't citizens vote the sheriff in?
Yep.
I've seen the banner.
So
they get elected.
If you got a problem with his policies, don't you have the power to elect him out of the jail?
All day, every day.
Oh, okay. I thought this is how it worked. But if you don't say anything and don't do anything, then 10 out of 10, there's a good chance he remain in that seat with them policies that's not in your best interest, correct?
Correct.
When you do have a choice to work with individuals to find out which ones can relate to you and the needs of your community, not knowing that everyone is not going to always agree. But as human beings, we can find a common ground to where we can see, there is a common need that need to be addressed. But you don't know this until you sit down and have a conversation. And why wouldn't you want to have these conversations if this is where you reside? If this is the area where you raise your children? I mean, isn't that in your best interest? Shouldn't that be your most major investment? It's back where you have your feet planted, where you laying your head down. I mean, again, there's so many different programs for so many different areas for this to be achievable. And the same dedication that people put into history, you can put that same dedication, and I promise you, you'll have your answers in less than 30 minutes. Because you don't have to dig that deep to get the answers, because it's right there in front of your face. Time you get there, click, bang, wow, over.
You know, this is something I thought about, and I realized what it meant. And this is recently I realized what it meant. Where I've heard, you know, older people or just people in general say they'll stop someone who's elected and say, I voted for you. Let me talk to you about something. And when I was younger, I was just like, dang, that's kind of rude. Like, what does that, you know, they voted for them. Why did they? But now I realize what that means. And I'm talking about as of recently, that not only did I vote for you, what are you representing? I need to have a conversation with you. Like, I realize what that actually means and what that represents now. Before I was just like, dang, that's rude. But in all actuality, that's actually true. We affect, we elect, we affect. Yeah.
You're the representative of my community, or of multiple communities that came together to elect you. So yes, as that elected official, you answer to them communities. But if them communities are not holding these elected officials' feet to the fire, then again, whose fault is it?
Exactly.
You can complain that your mayor crooked, did this, did that, but if you are not activating to get him out the seat and get a like-minded individual in there, what are you complaining for?
Participation, activate.
I mean, and to sit there and say it can't be done, how many Catholic communities are there across the United States?
Oh, man.
I mean, you got a couple of Chinatowns built off these same programs and principles. These are other entities doing it for themselves. You have private communities to where you have to be of a particular income level to even think about being shown something, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You have full religious communities to where you have to be of a particular religious faith just to live. Matter of fact, the Mormons got a state, y'all. They got a state.
You ain't know.
So you trying to tell me using these same programs that everyone else is benefiting from because they are applying themselves, that we can rebuild our communities, we can rebuild our businesses, mind our business, and live the life that we're trying to live. Build the institutions to tell the history of our culture. I mean, all this is possible. And the thing about it, you don't have to turn in nothing that you already have, because everything you already have is what gives you access to do it. So you got the keys to all the access you need, and you finna throw it away.
Don't wanna get it up.
Keys open doors.
Not if you're throwing them out windows. You on the highway with a push to start, and you threw your keys out the window. Don't turn it off now. You hear? Don't turn it off. You ain't turning it back on. Not ever.
Ever? You know what? I got another question. Just real quick.
Oh, I was talking about what we
It
was
just
talking.
caught my eye. It just caught my eye.
What, that we live? And that we was doing quick.
You know what? Did I forget that we were live? I think
No,
I
you didn't.
Okay.
You cussed like 3 times. Swear jar.
Oh, I did?
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it later.
That's possible, because I think I did forget we were live.
He blacked out.
It's just so comfortable. Like, this is how we talk outside. Okay. My bad.
Oh yeah, this is not show personalities.
Yeah,
No.
this is normal. Wait, did I curse for real? You know what? I got a
If
question.
you think you did,
It's possible. I do apologize.
let me stop.
Oh. If you think you did. If you think you are. Double cousin, I got a question. Quick little question. The Bones, I got a question. Here's my question. And I think I see the answer. So I'm gonna just ask.
All right.
How much money can I get? Loans will be made in an amount equal to 2.5 months of your average monthly payroll cost in 2019, or the average of the first 2 months of this year if your business is new.
All right.
That's 2.5 months of payroll. That's 2.5 months of covering product expenses, utilities. That's 2.5. And and that's forgiven. And you don't have to pay taxes on it.
Well, I got a question.
And you get to keep your employees and bring them back. And if your business is new, you can still apply for it for 2.5 months.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
So a small little step back is a step forward.
Just a little shimmy, shimmy.
Man. Well, since that's that, I got a question. Oh, 1 2 1 2.
Who is this?
I'm Gabrielle. Bones is on the other line.
Oh, I heard you say earlier you was thinking too. So we got another addition to the family. That's just me thinking.
Talking about Epiphany?
Nope, you said that's just me thinking. I ain't never met thinking before.
Oh, you haven't met me thinking. Okay, got you.
Me. Me thinking.
A dangerous pastime, I know.
Oh man. Did you have another question?
I do. I actually do. I have another question. Does the money need to be paid back?
What kind of question is that?
What'd he say?
Holy shit. Hold on, am I reading the same article as you? Something's wrong. Something's missing.
Oh, I asked the question on how much money can I get?
Yeah, we did that. Yeah, we on the next one.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
And from that question, we found out that if you're not a new business, then you would go based off of 2019. And if you're a new business, you would go off of the first 2 months of the year. But you get to apply for what equals out to 2.5 months, 2.5 months, 2.5 months. So that covers payroll, utilities, expenses, product or whatnot. And, of course, payroll employees. But you ask for funds to cover you for 2.5 months.
Okay, so what if you don't have payroll? What if you're that or they were talking about in the other question?
Like a sole proprietor?
Independent contract, yes, exactly.
What are your expenses for 2.5 months?
Yeah, it would still be your expenses for 2.5 months. Yeah, you just wouldn't have to pay with.
So what I'm saying that just because it says, can I get, and you're talking to a business or, and they did mention it in the other, I just want people to know that it's not just talking about payroll. Because if you don't have payroll to worry about, you would,
well, kind of, you do have payroll if you're a sole proprietor contract because it's
yourself. Your personal, what you would personally be bringing in from it. If you're bringing in a salary from the business,
expenses, your
personal business.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I just like
Basically, your overhead of because of what you would be costing. Because think about it, you're not paying payroll, so that's a loss. But you're still most likely still paying utilities and stuff because all them things are still open.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, they're giving you the finances to cover all them payments still, just in case you have open accounts, because all them things are still moving. It's just the movement of goods and things are not, but production of it is not, but the billing side is still moving. Said you had another question?
I do. I have another question. Does the money need to be paid back?
Mic check.
1 2 1 2.
You will not. You will not. Mic check.
1 2 1 2.
You will not have to pay back the loan. Mic check. So long as you use at least 75% of the money you get on payroll costs, including wages, benefits, payroll taxes, plus state and local wage taxes. I want to read that again. You will not have to pay back the loan so long as you use at least 75% of the money you get on payroll costs, including wages, benefits, payroll taxes, plus state and local wage taxes. And the rest of the funds are spent on your business's rent or mortgage, utilities, and other overhead expenses. The money must be spent in the first 8 weeks after you receive the loan. In other words, if you spend the borrowed money for authorized purposes over the 2 months of the loan, that obligation will be forgiven, and the amount forgiven will not be treated as taxable income to you.
Say what?
Any questions about this, what I just read? Any statements, questions, comments, concerns, answers, or corrections? Please say it here. Don't email us. No, email us too. Anyone? Gabrielle?
Nope.
What is this?
Nope. Nope. I'm just waiting for you to finish the answer.
8 weeks. Okay. At the end of your 8 weeks, you'll have to show your lender proof of your expenses during that period.
That's receipts.
Payroll costs eligible for forgiveness may not exceed $100,000 per employee.
What?
You got some sharks out there. You paying $100,000? What? ABC always be closing. Okay, I got you.
For real. Yeah, I don't. That. Okay, so receipts. That's this. So receipts.
I'm sorry, Gabrielle. It's like you keep thinking, then you get another thought. So you're like,
I do, because I mean, again, this is one of them things you want to say something, you're like, no, and then you want to say something else, like, no, it's right there. Like, you can't expand. Well, you can expand on it, but is this? You know what? This is CNN. What's this website? CNN.com. And then when you click on it, hold on, because I printed out the page. The page says Paycheck Protection Program Borrow Application Form. It's an OMB control number. This is
from your SBA.
This is the SBA form. And it's got USC codes on it and everything. Like this is a government. Oh, okay. You know what?
Yeah, use the right way. Use the right way. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Let me see something real quick. No, it doesn't need to be notarized. Okay. 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 Shout out to A2. Shout out to you, Bones. Appreciate this, because I will be sharing this link along with the information and the application to some people today. I think I might print page on this website. Man. I got another question.
Oh, I'm waiting.
Okay. When would I have to pay the loan back if it's not forgiven?
When will you have to pay the loan back if it's not forgiven? What kind of? Okay. Let me see if I got an answer for that. If any part of the borrowed money is used for unauthorized purposes, mic check. I'm all the way down there with the mic. That amount will be forgiven.
Come back to the light.
If any part of the borrowed money is used for unauthorized purposes, that amount will not be forgiven, and you will have to repay it over 2 years at a 0.5% interest rate.
Hold up. What? Huh?
Yeah.
So if it's unauthorized, hold on. Y'all crazy.
One more time, please.
I'm in the middle of reading my speech, people.
He said the same thing I said. That's Jinx, you owe me a candy bar. Another one.
Hey, Gabrielle, can you ask that question again? Because I don't know if I answered it right. I'm just reading what's on the page.
Yeah, I no. What I said.
I said.
What I said was, when would I have to pay back the loan? Pay the loan back if it's not forgiven. That's what I said.
True. If any part of the borrowed money is used for unauthorized purposes, that amount will not be forgiven. It's not forgiven, not forgivable. And you will have to repay it over 2 years at a 0.5% interest rate. All right?
Hold on.
Yes. You
That's
just slap the
mic
calculator on the top of the screen?
No,
Oh, I thought you
mic dropping.
that was a calculator. There's an automatic 6-month deferral on payments for all borrowers. So you would need to start paying it back with interest after 6 months.
6 months?
Mm-hmm.
6 months after the 2.5 months?
6 months after the 2.5 months, you got to start. 6 months. After
What number is 6?
It's the one that come after 5, right?
Okay.
To answer 2 questions real quick in the chat. Yes, Pamela Hall, the work that you're putting off in your garden can and does count as sweat equity. And Mike Easton, this is the SBA small business loans. Dealing with the COVID-19 because of the situations going on. So yeah, today is Friday. So yeah, it's supposed to be opened up today for small businesses to start.
Yeah, the title of this one from CNN Business is What Small Businesses Need to Know About the Government's New Forgivable Loan Program. They out there.
I'm gonna put it back in the chat again.
Definitely. All 3 Man, I'm gonna read this from the top while y'all wait. You will not have to pay back the loan. Oh no, wait, that's not even it. Where was we at?
If.
How much money can I get? I should have been on desktop version. Where can I get the loan? No,
If.
That's if. Oh, if any part? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if any part of the borrowed. Okay, so yeah, if any part of the borrowed money is used for unauthorized purposes, that amount will not be forgiven, and you will have to repay it over 2 years at a 0.5% interest rate. There's an automatic 6-month deferral on payments for all borrowers, so you would need to start paying it back with interest after 6 months.
You know
it said
what?
unauthorized purposes. Now, in unauthorized purposes, authorized purposes.
You don't need a Ferrari.
No, but that's not. See, that's the thing, because they don't have a hot link for the authorized purposes.
Well, it breaks that in.
The authorized
they have a link for the
authorizes anything dealing with the business,
right?
Dealing with the payroll and actual business needs. Now, if you use any of the funds for that, that's what you will have to pay back.
Right.
Hold on, say that again.
So basically, if you're so you use the funds which authorized for payroll, your utilities, your insurance, your maybe you're paying rent on a building, or if it's out of your home, then you're paying a mortgage, or you're even paying rent on your home. your lights, let's say whatever type of business, let's say you're a sole proprietor and you pay insurance on your car because that's, you're a contractor, whatever the case may be, whatever is directly related to your business expenses, which i.e. payroll, just maintaining your business, the things that you normally pay out, that's authorized. If you're normally not paying it out, basically what they're asking for is receipts that are directly related with your business.
Yeah.
Thank you for wrapping that gavel up, B. No, that was perfect. What you got me. I was hearing it, and then when you wrapped it up at the end, was even more. I got it now. Now I got a lot of questions when the show is over.
Yeah, this isn't gonna cover, like you want to go out to eat by yourself, and
I know.
Or you can't really go out to eat, but the stuff that you wasn't doing that before. What you doing?
That's what I'm saying. No, it's 2019 if your business already existed, and it's the first 2 months of the year if your business is new. So, I got some questions.
Mm-hmm.
We got a group think as soon as I'm through.
I had to do my youngest son. He does that. Somebody makes a point, he just smirks. He goes, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, and then walks away. He does a Gibbs.
I'm gonna have to send you a clip of what I believe my version of that is. But go ahead. Yeah. just remind me, Dave Chappelle. Just remind me.
Yeah, you know what? Every time I laugh real hard, it's one of those things that may not have anything to do with the conversation, but what goes through my mind is this one, that one skit where he was laughing really hard and he was like, "This racism is killing me."
Yeah, I heard you say that earlier.
I cannot help it. If I laugh real hard, the back of my head starts hurting.
It's like, what?
Yeah. You know how many times people have looked at me like, "Wait, what? What was racist?" It's funny, I'm telling you.
It works. It works for me too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I apologize, Bones. We're doing it again.
Okay, yeah. Well,
oh man, Friday rising, quarantine.
links are hot. Clicking me.
All right, I'm sorry. I am apologizing.
That boy had bad.
For Monday.
I don't know nothing. I do not know nothing of what you talk about. No.
Look, you know what? Bones really be trying to change us when he make all the changes in the background. He be like,
I think that's what happened. I
changed another page on the site and they still ain't moved. What is this? What is this doing? I'm trying to show them. This is serious.
I have this image in my head at times when you coerce me into going along with your semantics and your antics. I have this image that Bones just kind of sits back in his chair and kind of pushes his chair back a little bit from the computer. Like, yeah, that's them. Yeah.
Yo, I think we have too much fun on this show. That's not a problem. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Seems like a huge problem
for others. But yeah, did you have another question?
Information retains.
You ain't lying. Oh, I didn't click the link. My bad. I ain't even on the right.
Oh wait. I got another question. Question. Okay. Did I ask you already where I can get the loan from?
Well, even if you did, I have an answer for that, just in case people are just now stepping in the room, all SBA approved lenders, as well as federally insured depository institutions, federally insured credit unions, and farm credit system institutions will be able to make these loans if they choose. Senior Treasury officials said they are also looking into allowing some fintech companies to make loans as well. The SBA will be posting a tool for you to key in your zip code to find lenders near you participating in the program. Sound like another map.
So it's a program.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yes. Oh, it's in the title of this. The title
Oh, I didn't.
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't catch that. So this is a program.
It's a program.
Oh, imagine that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my bad. Continue. My
You
bad.
good? You good? If you've never taken out an SBA loan before, you might go to your primary bank first because lenders will be operating under so-called know your customer regulations, and that process will be streamlined if you've previously worked with the lender.
Mm.
Okay. A map. We're gonna have a map for you.
I got another
A map
question.
maker. I'm ready.
Yeah, I got another question. Do I have to go to a bank to apply?
No. The expectation is that you should be able to apply online.
I didn't quite hear you.
Huh? Say again.
You know what? Ask that question again. Yeah.
Okay, so what I asked was, what I said was, do I have to go to a bank to apply?
No. The expectation is that you should be able to apply online. Boy, get up off yo. I don't know why you come around here messing with these people. That's how I felt when I saw that no under there. Do I need to go to a bank? No.
No.
Like, hold on. I can get some money and I don't gotta go to a bank. Say
Hold
what?
up, man. You mean to tell me I can roll over, hit the alarm clock, and apply for this? Is that what you're
Man.
saying? Y'all remember that commercial?
And
with
don't
the puppet-
never, ever got to see the bank.
the puppet on the couch filling out the loan online. He had his underdrawers on. Like, hey, it's as fast as this. I ain't even got to put no clothes on to fill out this loan application. It's the same thing. This program, you can fill it out in your underwear. Fill it out wherever you are. You can't do it at Starbucks no more.
If you want to be happy for 2.5 months of your life, click.
Hey, what else going on? Can't go nowhere. Everything closed. Fill it out.
Look, I looked at the application. If y'all look, man,
I
the
got
first
that. I got
page
it
is
printed
so
out.
easy to do, and the second page is just your initials. So
That's
it's a
it.
2-page application.
That's it. That's it.
And you know what? You can stop the application in some cases. Some people don't qualify for it. So in what was it? If you answer yes to number 5 and 6, you will not be approved. So don't have any felonies, any ongoing litigation against. Don't have none of that regular stuff. The stuff that you can't get a job with, don't have any of that. All right, because they out to help you, not hurt you. So
I said simplified terms. If you're pushing paper, do not apply.
yeah, if you wanted to paper people, don't push this paper. Don't hold these
Yeah,
coins.
this is not for you. Yeah, this is not for you.
This ain't insurance. So, no, you don't have to go to a bank to apply. The expectation is that you should be able to apply online. Something everybody's doing right now. You online, if you're listening to me talk, you can hear my voice. You can hear Gabrielle's voice. And Bones is shaking his head
click.
loud enough for you to hear.
Click, click.
On mute. He's shaking his head. Look, I heard it. I heard the wind. I saw the trees blow. It's Bones shaking his head at me and Gabrielle on our tangents. But yes, no. The answer is no. You go online.
Okay, I got another question.
Mm-hmm.
I got another question.
I'm ready.
Now, is it true that I can get the money the same day I apply?
Hold on now. What kind of question is that? You think we know each other already? Now you can ask
Yeah,
that kind of question.
I heard something. Wasn't sure. So I'm just wondering. I'm just.
Oh, so you're asking for a
curious.
friend? Okay. Can you ask for
Yeah,
a friend? one more time?
I'm asking for someone else.
Yeah, let me know what they want to know.
Is it true that I can get the money the same day I apply?
I got to answer. Possibly at some lenders. Hold on, wait a minute. Did I say possibly when you said same day?
Yeah. That's
Okay,
what I thought I heard.
yeah, it's a possibility. At some lenders.
East bus.
But it's more reasonable to assume it could take 2 to 3 days after you submit an application, Hearn said. Hearn said this.
Hold on.
So hopefully
Hold
you ain't
on.
got to come up with
You
it.
said 2 to 3 days, not months.
Yeah. No, I
Days.
don't know, because the days start with a D, and it's like four letters with an S on it. So days.
Oh, I'll
2
be
to
right
3.
back. I go clean my ears again. Make sure I'm hearing right. Hold on. Give me a minute.
Hold on. First of all, what's alarming about this, because it said possibly about same day. But outside of the possibility that you can get funds the same day that you apply online, it's more reasonable to assume that it could take 2 to 3 days after you submit your application. I think I can be patient. We're not promised tomorrow, but I can be patient. It's up to every bank to decide when it disperses the money after an application is approved. Now, all I know is that as soon as they give whoever the money, they have to spend it within 2 months, correct? And then they have 6 month guaranteed deferred. To have to make those payments.
If they have to pay anything back.
And if you have to pay anything back, it's at an interest rate of 0.5%.
For 2 years.
For 2 years.
0.5% over 2
Starting
years,
6 months after you had to spend it all.
You know what? I got another
75%, sorry,
question.
75%.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got another question.
Man, you got some good questions.
Okay, here's my question. This loan will only support 2 months of my cost.
Mhm.
Then what?
Good question. That's a good question. If the coronavirus crisis goes on for a long time, the Treasury and Congress will need to come up with more ways to provide capital to keep small businesses afloat. Hove did that.
Hold on. So they had no
hopefully
plan.
You don't have to worry about that.
Hold on. I said then.
Don't even worry about it.
Skirt.
Just stop
Hold
asking.
on. Did you just say that if it goes on longer, that they already have plans for more funding? I'm just trying to make sure.
They did it. They just did it just now. I mean, why wouldn't they be able to do it again? I don't know. I'm just saying. Ready for the next crisis, y'all. Hey, you gotta be ready. Always be crisising. ABC.
So this is designed potentially not just to be a one-time deal.
Yeah, it seems like it could be implemented again, like a phase 1 type deal, Phase 2 on the way. If necessary. I mean, that question was, is it true I can get the money the same day I apply?
Are you still there? Me too.
No, because it says possibly, Bones. At some lenders, but still 2 to 3 days. Did anybody know? I mean, I know some people, you go for a loan, that you can possibly get your answer.
Say no sellout. This is a one time where possibly it's used in a good situation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's not one you see every day. That is not one you see every day. I had to look. We on the question under that, and I'm looking at the question above. Like, this is possibly. That's 2 S's. Yes, it's a B in there. Man, okay. I'm sorry, Gabrielle.
Yeah, that's like the possible. That's the possible in the spades game that you're supposed to count.
Oh, see me. I usually try not to count my, because people don't be playing with the sandbags, man. So I don't be counting my possibles. I just be hitting them in the head at the end of the game. Like, you thought you said us.
No, see, that's one of them possibles you're supposed to count.
This one good right here. This one is good as a
yeah. The possibilities on this. Yeah,
this is good. This is as good as a yes right here.
Yep.
Because what's the worst case scenario? 2 to 3 days? So
I know, right?
win.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's crazy about it. So yeah, get excited, people. I'm sorry.
I know about 2 to 3 days, and you get funding. I like this option.
It's the other 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, y'all understand that.
Talking about that other 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, they're good. I like this option.
Don't do that, Gabby. That's 2 to 3. Look, talk about that boy head bad, that girl head bad. That's what we call a quip around here.
Oh man. Yeah, this sound a little bit better.
Yep.
I like
Oh,
this.
that's the other choice? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go with that one. The second
You can get with
time
this or you
around.
can get with that. I'm taking that.
I already know what this.
You want to get with this? No.
No. Well, get up off your cot. Know why you come around here messing with these people.
I got another question.
Mhm. Yeah, let's get off of that. It's Friday.
Where can I go for more information?
Mic check.
1 2 1 2.
No, wait. For more
Yeah, you-
detailed information on the loans, guidance put out so far by the Treasury and the SBA can be found here and here. Hot link.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's if you got more questions. I'm going back up to possibly if y'all done. I'm just going to say that possibly.
It's
Possibly they spotted me.
Well,
Possibly
I
they
tell you,
spotted
that's
me
a
this
possible
loan
that you
ASAP.
count. That's a possible that you count.
Exactly. Look.
don't nobody fun like me. I'm just a clicking and linking.
Yo. It's a whole new meaning to possibly they spotted me. He won't talk about being seen. They spot me. They got you. Nope, they
Man, the check is in the email.
got you. I know, right? Oh man, oh man.
Appreciate your boy, my boy.
Oh no. Oh man, no Bones. Please. I got questions after the show. Somebody remind me. Gabrielle.
Mhm.
I'll remind you.
Yes. Yeah.
Man, okay. So this is a
So what we
program.
just read? Go ahead.
Arts.
Okay, so this is a program, and I appreciate you,
title.
double cousin. Thank
What
you
small
for
businesses need to know about the government's new forgivable loan program? Go ahead and
the
talk.
who?
The government's new forgivable loan program. It's a program.
Oh, I didn't catch. You know what? I thank you for that. I didn't know that it was a forgivable
Yeah, it's forgivable loan program.
from the government.
Hmm.
Yeah, the same government that people trying to tell you to rebel against and don't be a part of. Yeah.
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah, they might want to. They probably gonna do it after they reap the benefits.
But they got no alternative. They have no alternative to support your business or your community or your everyday needs. But they telling you don't participate in the things that you can produce for yourself.
You know what?
You don't have to let nobody do it for you. You can access the programs and produce it for yourself.
For yourself.
Nobody's saying, oh, sit back and let somebody do it for you. No, we're saying access the programs, design the institutions, build it for ourselves, for our communities. Because if we don't do it, others going to keep doing it in our best interest. Well, saying it's in our best interest, but it's really for their bottom line.
Relax.
What?
Hey, that alternative though, Bones. I remember now. There was an alternative, and I think it's still ongoing for the ones who push law and learning law and knowing the law. The alternative is making sure you know every law, statute, code, and what else? Anything that goes with the municipality you going through in your vehicle.
And
You have to
that's
know all of
impossible.
those things. Oh yeah.
And that's impossible.
Oh, mind you, Bones,
no.
you're probably not traveling alone. So the person
Talking about
with
time
you,
travel?
the family, all of those
No,
people in
it's
your
impossible.
vehicle. It's impossible. But they won't.
It's
that's the
impossible
alternative.
because, first of all, listen, how many different districts there are across America? Because remember, we did this before. Remember, there's over 2,000 some different districts across alone. That's 2,000 different areas that you have to know laws for. Now, on top of that, if somehow you stopped every other thing in life and you had the time to memorize that, then you would have to make sure you're present in every ongoing case or get the transcripts of every going case, because law is forever going. It's precedented on the cases prior. So you can never know the full law, because it's like constitutions and bylaws. It's a living, breathing document. It's always changing and updating.
Can I share
You're
something?
wasting your time.
Can I share something?
Yes.
I learned about business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I learned that, let's say I have a business here, right? And I wanted to expand it. Like I wanted to become a franchise. And let's say I have my business here. Now I want to expand it into another state. I learned that even though my business here, it's the foundation, if I establish a business, an extension, and a franchise in another state, that even though it's expanded in another state, that business expanded in another state would still have to go by not the original state, but it would still have to operate under that state's, the new state's laws, regulations, policies, blah, blah, blah. Not being dismissive, I'm just saying. So even though the foundation is in one state, it still has to operate by what's required in the next state.
Mm-hmm.
True.
I can even put it in everyday terms for people. If with our nonprofit, if right now we decided, and we said this yesterday, we decided to be like, okay, we finna make a membership, and our membership is basically based on genealogy. And if we was like, okay, anybody whose genealogy tied back to such and such area at such and such time, that's what you need to become a membership. There's nothing anybody outside of that who don't like can do about it. If it's in our constitutions and bylaws and everything is written up proper, what can you do? Nothing. Because if you think you can do something, go tell this Catholic school that says that if you're not in the Catholic faith, you can't attend here. Come on, people, wake up.
Ask Thomas Landry Brady what the Supreme Court said to him about the Constitution and bylaws of the NFL.
So the NFL looked at him and laughed him completely out the room.
And I don't know his real middle name. I just thought
Hey,
Thomas Landry.
Alice in Wonderland. Who are you?
Tripping, clearly.
And
Studying law from 100 years ago. Studying law from 100 years ago don't help you now. You need to know current law and statutes of now. You need to know business laws and things now. You need to understand how government really works. All three branches of the government, how it really works. People saying that they know law, then if you know law, then you know how laws are enacted. Listen to the key word, how laws are enacted. Through act.
Oh, they don't just show up?
But you know law, though. But you know law.
Okay.
Did you know, but you know law.
Guess what I learned?
The law means nothing. You have to know the acts. Laws are what happen when you violate a act.
Yes.
Okay.
I learned that a law doesn't become a law until an act is violated.
But you know law. Cut it out.
Come on now.
And if you really knew how it works, then you know by participating locally that you can work your candidates up through the chain and eventually have candidates in seat to develop acts that affect and become law. But you know law, though. Huh?
You think you know law, you need to cut it.
They know law, but all the people that they quote to be the teachers, they don't even know that all of them got active court cases and on the run. But you know law, though. Hey, this is public info. I'm mean, they
definitely.
favorite heroes. They all posted on the front page of the Southern Poll already lost sight. Y'all better be careful.
You might want to look who your master teacher is.
For real, your contribution is way too high. That is.
Oh man, now you're gonna get mad and your stuff on public websites. Don't go look at
You know what I'm saying? Your federal court cases
case.
and this and that. Half these people didn't become so-called indigenous Aboriginal Indians until they got jammed up. Let's keep it 100.
You know what's crazy? Okay, so if you ever notice, if you're in court, whether traffic ticket, whatever, if you ever notice when you're in court, lawyers go behind that swinging door and that whole thing, right? And before court even starts, all the lawyers are talking with each other. They're talking with the, what's it called? The court, the clerk or whatever he or she is. They're talking about all this stuff. That's where people who know law go before court starts. Just saying. If you ain't standing there,
Oh, to answer Michael Brown Harris Creek. Well, Chief, no, you do not have to have personal credit to start a small business. No,
you don't. No, you do not. Because your business credit is not your personal credit, and I learned that. Shout out to A2. Shout out to Bones.
That's your EIN. That's your business credit number. It has nothing to do with your personal.
Yeah, even
it's just registered to you. It's registered to you.
Yeah, and even if you're using your home address as your business address, it still is your business credit, not your personal credit.
Yes, it's a separate entity.
Bones, are we still hosting tomorrow? Might be.
Yes, we are. Every Saturday.
Good.
Every Saturday at 1 p.m.
This week.
I will be sending the emails out again. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll be able to cover a lot more of the SBA and the personal side of the microloans for individuals on how individuals can tap into microloans in the meeting tomorrow.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of the stuff that we can't talk about on air.
Yep. Just trying to reduce some fraud around here.
You know it.
Oh, I like that. A lot. Your head bad. I can't say nothing.
Probably not. Oh man, we got I'm sorry. I apologize, YouTube chat. We got some. Can we just shout out?
So for the Constitution, at the end of the day, it's the contract between how states conduct business with themselves, between states.
Right.
Because the states was first, then they became united. You can't be united before you had states. The Constitution conducts how states do business amongst each other. It is an act, and therefore, if one of the states violate the act, there's laws and things to be done.
Yeah, it's like the rules to a basketball game or a football game or soccer. Like you have all these different teams, but they have, each team has its own guidelines, rules, or whatnot. But under the whole, they have a
baseline.
Yeah,
they have a baseline rules for all states to follow. But now within that baseline, the states have the right to enforce and adjust what they want to do within that baseline. That's it. Because people got to remember again, people talk about the federal government and state governments like they're really different entities. Break this down. Who makes up the federal government? Representatives of the states who were elected by the citizens. So again, the federal government is made up of state representatives to do the bidding of what? The states. I think we need a civics class.
Well, I agree. Because I need a civics class.
See, and again, one of the easiest solutions is, I'm an American Indian. I can start a nonprofit, again, based on membership of genealogy. And all my members are identified as American Indians, and we have an American Indian community. Simple. But that's if people are willing to step out and do the work, be a part of the community, be active in what's going on, access to programs to bring about change. See, a lot of the things that we argue and debate about, these things need to be put down and we can pick them up later. Because right now it's about the conditions of the communities that we live in. And if we keep arguing about things that's not going to change what's affecting and what's ailing us right now, it's going to get worse. And here we believe by the solutions that have been around us, some of them since 1968, some of them way before, that through research you see the entities that's in our communities, they are using these programs because we are not using them. And it's kind of funny that if you study our history, you find the majority, you find more people telling you not to be a part of this, not to use these programs, not to be a voice in your community than you do of people that's telling you what these programs can do. Perfect example. You can go to a site with drama going on, thousands of views. But on the HUD site where they're walking you through step-by-step HUD Section 3 on how to do it, you barely get 100. Again, we as people, we have to make better choices. If we want change, we must start changing within ourselves. We have to change where we spend our time, how we spend our time. We have to change how we represent our communities. Again, if we are American Indians, what's the sense in fighting about it online if you never represent it in your life? What's the sense in talking about it online if you can't even talk about the basics of your tribal culture? And that's not a shot at no one. It's just showing that we have to make better choices of how we spend our time, how we use our voices. Again, finding out your tribe through genealogy is not what makes you an American Indian. It's embracing the culture. It's passing it on. It's knowing our history. It's living by the codes of our ancestors. That's being Indian. It's not no garb that you put on that makes you an Indian. It's not no name that you take on that makes you an Indian. It's what you do that makes you an Indian. Because again, our ancestors didn't identify people by how they look. It's by what they did. Go back and look at some of the ancestral names. It's by the actions of what they did. So again, to all my American Indians, brothers and sisters, no matter what your ideology is, it is time for us to become responsible again. It is time for us to answer the call in our communities and build a better future for these children. Build better security for our elders who have paved the way for us to even do this today. And I ask again, if there's an alternative for us to do all of these things without jeopardizing the safety of one household, then present the information. And we don't ask to be grandstanding. We ask because we are here to get it right, because our future depends on this. The separation between real and fake should be what you do. If there's information that exists that communities can use now to fix the conditions now and you turn a blind eye, then you are the problem. You are no different than elected leaders who know the information and say nothing. So I ask of the people, stop depending on others to speak for you. Stop depending on others to know for you. Right now, in this time when we are all home, we have more than enough time to research our local communities, our local government. We have more than enough time to build relationships to find out what truly our local needs are. All of our children are basically home right now. How many years people keep talking about an American Indian educational form? What's the excuse now? If we can get online for 13 hours of BSing, you can't do it for 2 for education? What is this really about? People want to be icons and faces, but history will judge you all for what you do, what you build. So again, for all of those who say, don't participate, the government is this, a U.S. citizen is this, where's your proof? Prove to the communities that the ideology and that the way that you say benefits them. Show it. Because here proof is not a problem. There's hundreds and hundreds of episodes, eyewitnesses, proof that these programs work. And there's not one person who have ever attempted it, followed it step by step, that wasn't successful. There's not one person that ever followed the steps that ever had to worry about their doors getting kicked in, looking over their shoulders. But through your ideology, can you say the same? Can you promise the people the same? Can you promise the children of them all the same? I'll answer for you. You can't. So as people, when are we going to demand better? When are we going to demand better? And this isn't for everyone. This is for those who know that there's something wrong, that it takes more than drama all day to get anything done, that it takes actual physical conversations, being a part of your community to bring about real solutions. The census allocates $12,000 per household for participation. Again, $12,000 per household for participation. For all of you who say again, don't participate, present your alternative to the community. We're waiting. I guess on that note, it's salad time. Let the relatives get on about their Good Friday. The rest of the panel just jumped out the window.
Man, you know I wasn't gonna say nothing first.
Man.
I'm over here trying to figure out how I can save on my energy bills too. Bones heating it up.
For real. You can't be doing that.
I'm just speaking this. I'm not afraid to speak the truth. You get what I'm saying? I'm not afraid to speak the truth. And if in the end, if a person don't like it, oh well. If speaking the truth in the end leaves me standing by myself, I know when I stand in front of the Creator,
Yep.
when He asked me, what did I do with the opportunity? I did put it all on the line to inform as many people from the communities as possible. Because I know in the end, I got to answer for what I do or choose not to do. So regardless of what anybody else feel or got to say, I'm going to do my best to err on the side of right, regardless. And then, no, ain't nobody perfect. I make 100 mistakes a day. I just do my best to do better the next day. I'm human like everybody else, prone to the same thing. I just know that you have to be willing to change yourself for the better. You have to be willing to shed the colonized things that were programmed on us through school and television and music. To sit back and act like that we're not affected by it is naive.
Right.
And we were the main spreaders of it. Man, go back and man, listen, ain't no generation spreaded it like we did in the 90s. Let's keep it 100.
He ain't lying.
Everybody wanted to be a gangster with a shiny suit.
Man.
Guns and holsters, girls on shoulders, Playboy. I told you.
Man, look. Yeah, we do not pay attention at times that we contribute to our own demise.
And you know what's so funny? How people complain, and I agree, David Corey. People complain about being a U.S. citizen. It's kind of funny. I bet you them same people that complain about it, they don't do too much world traveling, y'all.
Yeah.
If there's any citizen that you would love to be when you travel in the world, is a U.S. citizen.
Yeah,
Believe that. Believe that. Trust me, there's a difference in treatment. All my brothers and sisters who have traveled the world and sing and been outside of the country, you know what I'm talking about. You got an embassy that ain't too many people running up on start problems with. And most likely there's a base there that ain't too many trying to start problems with either.
Yeah.
But last 190 countries on the planet, the U.S. got a base in 130. Yeah, I think, yeah,
Now, if you're talking about a pickup game of basketball, then, you know, some soldiers do that with you, but I don't think that's what you're talking about. You don't want no problem.
You don't want no problems.
I know, that's big Scrappy. That ain't little Scrappy.
No, I wasn't talking to you, Charles Clark. No, we just having conversations. Yeah, it had nothing to do with what you were saying. Just agreeing with David Corey on the U.S. citizen.
Are you talking about the paper people?
Yeah, which I'm still confused on now. They use the Constitution, but the Constitution pertains to U.S. citizens.
That's weird to me.
It's for the protection of U.S. citizens against the state.
What?
That's it. So all states treat citizens equally across the board. I mean, again, sometimes people read stuff and make it more complex than what it really is. If you interpret it on face value, it's basic rules and guidelines on how all states will conduct themselves in a uniform fashion. So no state has an upper hand on another state.
Which makes sense.
Exactly. That's why you have the U.S. Constitution, and all states have their own constitution. All cities have their own constitutions.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
they do.
People really have to take time out to understand what is government and how it really works. Stop taking somebody else's interpretation of it. Because people complain about the government, not realizing you are the government. The citizens elect the representatives that make up the body of the federal government. I mean, it's simple mathematics. But then again, math ain't so simple everywhere. It should be, but that's another story.
Math, fam.
What are we supposed to be getting out of here before we get to the bar rising?
That's on you, bro.
Oh, okay, salivations. My bad. My bad. So, peace to the panel, peace to the chat, peace to the silent majority. Continue on your genealogical journey. Don't stop that. Keep going. Know who you are so that no one can tell you who you are. Pass that information along to your family. Pass that information along to your children. Pass that information along to your neighbors and your friends so that they can know who they are, so that no one can tell them who they are. That is really, really important. It opens up a whole nother perspective on what you think you know. Period. It's important. Just know who you are so that no one can tell you who you are. April 1st passed up doesn't mean that you don't have time to participate in the census. You still do, whether by phone, by mail, or by internet. You still have time to participate in the census so that you can count, so that you count. Again, anyone telling you not to do the census, again, even though the envelope says it is required by law, still do the census and participate because it does make a difference. It affects your city, your county, and your state. What you don't participate in causes your city, county, and state not to ask for funding to help the needs of the people, period. So anybody telling you not to participate is actually telling you not to help improve, not to help funding to improve areas, or even if it's education. You know, those programs also cover extended education. It covers, going to college, or if it's, a sewing class, something as simple as a sewing class, or just something simple. I mean, that funding doesn't just cover housing. It doesn't just cover grocery stores or farms. It also covers education. So someone telling you not to participate, then you don't get counted. And if whole communities aren't participating, then why ask the question, well, how come my community is surrounded by all these businesses? Well, because you didn't want to participate, and you didn't want to get actively involved, and you didn't want to fill out the census or get actively involved in your community. We went to outside resources to help sustain, to sustain everything. So participate, do the census, get actively involved in your community, have conversations, get actively involved. Again, even with not being able to actually go to a city council meeting, those meetings are recorded and put on Facebook and on their city's websites, even the county's websites. Just get actively involved. You can use your phone, call numbers, call contact numbers, call these local agencies and these local government agencies and have a conversation. All it takes is time. I mean, everything costs, even conversation. All you have to do is pay attention. So yeah, I'm just saying. And that ACS census, selected addresses are representatives for their neighbors, for their community. So filling out that ACS census, even though the decennial census is, what's being focused on filling out now, it doesn't mean that the ACS census stops. That ACS census is still being filled out, still being submitted along with the decennial census. And there's way more questions on the ACS census than the decennial census. So either way, fill out those forms, make yourself count so that you can count. And if your address is one of the addresses that receives the ACS census, just keep in mind you are a representative. So not filling that out means that there is no representation for your area. There is no representation for your community, which ultimately means that you affect what does or does not get implemented within your community. I mean, we are responsible for what we do and what we don't do. So with that being said, peace to the panel, peace to the chat, peace to the silent majority. Shout out to Double Cousin for these wise words. Appreciate you.
I'm not even doing anything.
You don't have to burn books to destroy a culture. All you have to do is just get people to stop reading them. Or links for that matter too. Culture resides in the hearts and minds of the people. We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters or perish together as fools. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. Pride is the community coming together and showing that love is real and that people care.
Oops. The chat wants you to repeat the one right before that. They want to repeat.
Coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. That
one more time. No, not that one, but yes, that one. One more time.
The one above that one?
You must break up that. That's what I said. Repeat it.
Okay, so I'll start over. I'm not sure which one. Okay, let me put my paper in front of me. Okay, you don't have to burn books to destroy a culture. Just get people to stop reading them. Culture resides in the hearts and minds of the people. We must learn to live together as brothers and sisters or perish together as fools. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. And pride is the community coming together and showing that love is real and the people care. And last but not least, every man and woman's ability may be strengthened or increased by culture. And lastly, and one of the greatest regrets in life is being what others would want you to be rather than being what you could be yourself. So, peace to the chats, peace to the panel, peace to the silent majority. Get actively involved. Have conversations. If you're wanting to do community garden or farming, there are programs out there. again today, even with small businesses, it's a program. You know, there are programs for programs for programs. There are ways to help the community. There is funding for ideas that you have to help the community. And surprisingly enough, if you've had an idea, which has happened to me several times, shout out to A2 Attachments Assembly, shout out to you, Bones and Double Cousin, for these conversations that we have. So many ideas that I have had, Bones has pulled a link on HUD's website or USDA's website where that idea was it's actually an established program that provides funding to get it going.
Got an idea?
Yeah.
There's a program for that.
Absolutely. A funding for your thoughts. There is no excuse in my mind. Anyone saying, well, I don't know. If you don't know, I get it. If you don't know about the programs and about the funding and where to go, that I get. But when you know, there's no excuse. I mean, it's the same as just blowing out hot air. You're just, yeah. If you want to do. If you don't want to do, then just step aside. Because at the end of the day, the people who want to do are going to do. I've listened to people call in, talking about and saying what they've done, what they're doing, and what they're going to do. And that is a really, really awesome, that's really awesome to hear. And it's a really good feeling to feel like, you know what, there are other people out there who are not just talking. They're actually doing. It doesn't matter how small or how big. Everything starts off small, but still there are people out there doing. There are programs that people are out there utilizing. There are programs out there. There's a program, there are 2 programs out there that I didn't know about. And once I knew about it, I became a part of it. So it's the knowing. So if you don't know, then okay, hey, let me have a conversation with you. But if you do know, what are you really saying? What are you really doing? Oh, I can't get this going. Well, why can't you? You know about these programs. Why didn't you fill out an application? All it takes is time. So yeah, helping the community is key. Because again, if we don't participate, if we don't get actively involved in these programs, if we don't implement, the communities won't be our communities anymore. And then because we didn't participate, because we didn't get actively involved, there's no need to complain. Because if you can complain about something, you can do something about it. Just saying. So yeah, piece of the panel, piece of the chat, piece of the silent majority. Have a beautiful weekend, y'all.
Yeah, you just Super Saiyan. Anyway, I ain't got nothing.
Super Saiyan.
Thank you, Gabrielle, for saying all of those words for everyone to hear and think about and be motivated and informed, pretty much. Questions, comments, concerns, and or corrections, please email us at attentionassembly@gmail.com. Don't forget to log into the forum. Check out the website first. Log into the forum. I think the radio station's still up. Yep, radio station. Man, listen now. Y'all. Everybody is invited to this. Bones, what are we calling this? What do we call it officially? Because this is the 4th one? This is the 4th week?
Oh, you talking about Saturday's call?
Third day.
Yeah.
We're talking about third
It's just
day.
a community. Yeah, just a community deal. Basically getting together behind the scenes and working with people that are interested in getting particular programs started or just have questions, even dealing with genealogy. Again, the more we work together as members of the community and representatives of different communities, the better it is for us to service the needs. And that's as a Tontonist Assembly, and that's as individuals. You know, and leading into our statement going out, it's simple. For the people that keep saying that it can't be done, it's not real, it's agents, it's just talk. Again, a Tontonist Assembly is registered as an American Indian non-profit organization, a 501c3. And we access these programs and the information for communities. So if all this stuff they say can't be done, how are we a year in still doing it?
Message.
Look, you remember when they spit out the pacifier and screamed it? Yeah, that's on that one. That one right there.
Again,
Little
all
baby
the things that they'll sit back and tell you that can't be done and this and that. Autonomous assembly is the physical representation that it can. Not just saying the name online and saying it's a company, no. You can take the name and look it up. It will come back as an American Indian registered nonprofit organization. So to sit here and to say that doing these things, the government gonna do this and won't let you do this and you can't identify that, then explain to me how Autonomous Assembly is officially a year old.
Houseway. How we make it? We ain't been cut down yet. What's going on?
Working and having meetings with HUD Section 3 representatives as an American Indian nonprofit organization. Accessing grants and information. Talking to congressmen as a nonprofit American Indian organization.
Hey, Bones, does that mean we can represent an individual?
Again, if we decided to be like, all right, we're going to do a membership, and the membership is basically based off of genealogy, and then turn around and decide to give the benefits of being a nonprofit to the membership and had it in our constitution and bylaws and how our membership is developed, yes, we can.
Okay. I didn't even know you was gonna break it down for me. I just thought you was gonna answer, but you answer somebody else's question.
Y'all
now.
know me. I have no problem. So if people really want to have these conversations, I just advise you do your homework and bring your peoples.
And make sure your peoples is there, because you might get embarrassed.
Because again. Yeah, seriously, show the evidence that it doesn't work. But that's kind of hard when we are here every rising consistently using the same things that we are talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of like you living in a different dimension if you talking that mess. Or we sitting right over here doing this.
That's why it be funny to me. That's why I laugh. I'm like, oh, really? So I guess we don't exist then.
I know, right?
I get this letter from the state of Georgia and all this registration and this EIN and all this tax stuff don't exist then, huh?
Well, let me just serve myself at my favorite venues and places then, since they can't see me. It's self-serve everywhere, even at the bank.
Are we talking about ice cream, smoothies?
Anything. What you want?
Yogurt?
Look, we got a froyo spot.
And basically, and like I said, not saying that to brag or nothing whatsoever. It's mentioned to show this. We are not here just talking to be talking. We are not here for views. We're not here for debates. We are here because we use YouTube as an outlet to get this information out to people who want to make a change in their community and show physical examples that it can be done. To the point to where we're standing on it so much, we designed a nonprofit organization to prove that it can be done. So again, for anyone that keep telling you, oh no, it can, and this and that, and this and that, your home, American Indian, Autonomous Assembly, you can always point back to and show, yes, it can. So on that, brothers and sisters, continue to work in your communities. Continue finding out what programs that you can use to make it better for tomorrow. And again, any questions that you have on how to get your nonprofits, on how to get things in order, the number's always open. And if we don't have the answer, I give you my word, we will go out of the way to find someone to give you the correct and most informed answer there possibly is. So continue doing your genealogy so no one can tell you who you are. Then with the hopes at the end of your genealogy that you're able to find your tribe so that you can choose to embrace your tribal culture. And then you can choose how you will to move forward with it. So until we link up to the next Rising Show, remember we love you and peace.
I got one
Mm-hmm.
about culture.
Hey, make sure y'all hit us on the email if you don't know how to get in touch with us for tomorrow. Or Bones, you can drop the phone number in the YouTube chat at least. I don't have. Is it the same thing we're doing right here? Or are we gonna do it?
Yeah, the number, the same number on the screen that'll be used for tomorrow. And plus, I send the email out to everybody that's registered through the form, to the newsletter.
Gotcha. Okay.
So if you already registered on the form, just check your email and the link will be in there. And if you're listening and you're not, just register on the Autonomous Assembly form. It costs you nothing. And after you register, take the time out to go through the information that's loaded in there on genealogy, community programs, accessing grants. Basically, nothing but information on becoming self-sufficient in our history. A collection of stories that make up our history. Our database that belongs to the American Indian.
Just like you got your Reddit forums, you got your any subject matter forum that somebody started, a gamer, whatever it is, we got that over here for the American Indian. Plus programs, community-based information. Stop playing with your life.
Oh, and again, like from the beginning to the end, free 99.
Oh yeah,
Man, for
all
real.
on the page. Go ahead. You said you had
Yeah, I got one more. I just put my little spin on it. Put my little 2 cents in on it. Culture is an instrument wielded by teachers to manufacture teachers, who in turn will manufacture still more teachers. So, is adult entertainment killing our children, or is killing our children entertaining our adults? That's it. Peace, y'all.
Whoa.
Too far? My bad.
Nah. You good.
Hit him in the head with this one.
Hey, pull the plug on the internet.
Because I'm thinking about it as many times as you said it, Bones.
Oh, we out of here before y'all.
No.
We out,
Children,
y'all.
listen to this. That's it. You know what? Fine. I'll be quiet.
All right, go ahead, Gabrielle. You get the last word on this topic. Go ahead, get it on. Get it on, Gabrielle.
Okay. No, I was just saying, children do listen to this. We've listened to and talked to, people who actually use this as a teaching instrument for children to help, not just children, well, adults, but also children understand genealogy and everything. And I just really started thinking about, whoa, what are we really doing to our children's future? Which ultimately, I know one day I'm going to get old. I don't want my future, my old future, to be, I can refer back to that day where I corrupted my children and like, yeah, this is what you get. This is what you're getting from us. That's all. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Basically, you better watch what you say and do. It's recorded. Somebody gonna watch it later.
Warning, warning, warning. Hard hats, pickaxe, shovels, boots required.